Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Sound. That's what I forgot the outline. I was just telling the guys. I was like, I forgot something. I know I did,
Whatever.
and I looked at the screen. And I was like, wait, where's the outline? I'll fix that while you guys while we introduce ourselves. Hi, everybody. If this is your first time here, get used to it. Anyways, we're doing the Monday Live where we talk about stuff, and I forget that there's a crucial step in my little setup here. But welcome. Of course, we've got in one corner we got Ryan, in one corner we got Jerry. Say hello,
It's a
everybody.
very it's a very good time to be a fan of monkeys right now.
It kind of is. That
I
Donkey Kong
I
Direct made me want to buy a
uh
Switch too.
I know. Oh, that the Bonanza Direct was so good. I want that game so much. It made me that the ending of the Direct made me cry. Like I was so emotional. I was like, why is the Donkey Kong game making me emotional?
Kaus, what did you think of Gear 4 Donkey Kong?
Or Super
Uh,
Saiyan 4 Donkey Kong.
that was pretty good. I just want to say I'm doing two things. I'm avoiding heat stroke and I'm avoiding the M floor.
Yeah.
F4.
You gotta tell the M floor story again. It's too good. It's too
Oh
good.
man,
Your
that,
Yakuza sub story.
oh my goodness. So we're in Atlantic City. We go on an elevator. We're just trying to go to the lobby in our hotel. We hit L for lobby. The elevator goes down and stops at the second floor. And we're like, nobody's there. We're like, maybe somebody just touched the button and left. All right, whatever. We try to go to the lobby again, and we see it go to lobby and then keep going down. And then it opens and it says you're on the M floor, and we're like, nothing in there but just dusty darkness, old furniture that hasn't been used in years. Nobody's been there in years. And me and Demon Wolf are like, we know what this is. We're out of here.
you
We got
found
dragged to some Dark Souls Resident Evil level. We're like, we're out of here.
yeah, you found the secret umbrella basement practically.
Legit. That's what I said. M for umbrella.
The best part was when Wheels was like, take me over to that floor, and you're like, no, we know what happens in horror movies. Minorities die first.
Exactly.
It's the greatest story, I think, from your guys' trip.
Yes.
The M floor. So anyways,
That's
that's the
that's the that's that's the episode Cows Bizarre Adventures right there.
Cow Bizarre
Oh,
Adventures.
Yes.
Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo.
Yeah. Master Ben was pointing out who's on the bet. It's a Star Convoy, who is going to get a video this week for all you Transformers nerds that love to hear me talk about Transformers.
Did he assassinate Chopper? Where is he?
Chopper's fine. He's oh god, I just knocked over like Hinata. Anyways, he's fine. He's shifted over because I wanted Star Convoy in the frame. I wanted to tease the video of the week because I really want to make a video on Star Convoy because I'm the kind of nerd that's like, I learned about Star Convoy 17 years ago reading the TF wiki, and now I have a toy of him. Let me talk about how special that is for me. So there's gonna I'm going to get comments of people saying, shut up about your personal story and show the damn toy, and I don't care. Fast forward exists, okay? Like you don't want to hear me yap about how much I love Star Convoy. You can fast forward it. I have chapter times for a reason.
You know,
Yeah.
every time I look at every time I look at your shelf behind you, I want us to play a game of guess who's on Santa's shelf, by how far away and low quality it is.
Yes. I mean, we could really play that game if I stop making that shelf just X-Men. Then it could be really fun.
I mean, Nimrod's easy to spot because he's so bright white.
Yeah, Nimrod. I think Nimrod and Professor X are like the easiest ones, right?
Mhm.
And Moon Knight's pretty white. He stands out. He's not an X-Men.
Where?
He's just there.
Oh yeah, there he is. I was like, "Where's Knight?" It's like a where's Waldo on your shelf over there.
Yeah, I need to rearrange my Marvel shelves. Not just because I have like not enough room for my Marvel figures, but I got back into collecting CDs, and I need shelves now for CDs. This is a weird thing. So like I've been getting into like I got Apple Music when I got my new phone. I got a free trial. Now I'm kind of hooked on it. Just like having everything like easily available. But then it's like I want to buy an album that came out, and so then it's like, well, why would I buy the digital? I already have a digital through my Apple Music, so I'm like buying CDs again. Also, the cool part is that like buying CDs is easy because like this cost me $8, because the market is vinyl right now. So I'm like, cool. I'm just gonna stack up on CDs. But now I'm like, I don't know where to put them because I have a CD shelf, but it's full, and I could move another CD shelf, but I have to take out all the Spider-Man figures. So it's my tangent about CDs. What is next on our show docket? Should we run down everybody in our text chat? Is that what we do next?
Usually.
All right.
Okay.
So
Cool.
welcome, Mr. Jinhound, Spider-Man's Prime, Zeltrax, Master Ben, Astronaut, Common Jojo, SHF for Jason, Kaiser 1954, Blade Raider, Spin Dash, K-Master, Jamie's World, hey, Mr. Arrowverse, welcome everybody.
Welcome. If we missed you, say something and we'll shout it
Oh,
out.
LPH.
Kawa Jojo asked, do you have any Gax stuff? I don't. That's because, like, my... Welcome, K-Master. My CD collection is very, like... It's a lot, like, it's really hard to collect stuff from Japan because it gets expensive, so I have to really love it.
Isn't most of it just Man the Mission?
Yeah, that's what the whole shelf is. It's like all the Man with the Mission. I have all their studio albums. I have most of their singles, all of their EPs, and then on the same shelf, I have like the Q Ranger single, the Orphans no Namida single from Iron Blooded Orphans, all the Digimon Try songs on singles for some reason. Don't ask me why. And then I think I squeezed in the Wicked soundtrack over there, and that's like one shelf because it's just like 75% Man with a Mission. And now I've got like a bunch of other stuff, and I'm like, where am I going to put that? Master Ben says, how much Linkin Park? I have a box of CDs under the bed too that probably needs somewhere to go. There's technically Linkin Park in my collection because of the Transformers movie albums.
Hey, do you have Stan Bush in the Stan
Speaking
Bush
of Man
albums?
with a Mission.
I have the Transformers movie soundtrack expanded edition, which has Stan Bush on it. Speaking of Man with a Mission,
are you gonna get Mecha Break?
Simply because they did it, them and Sawano did songs for it, kind of makes me want to buy Mecha Break. Yeah.
I mean, they did Demon Slayer opening.
They did, yes. That was part of the reason I wanted to watch Demon Slayer. Just like they did a My Hero opening, and I was like, maybe I should watch My Hero, and then I didn't like it. That might be one of those I need to try again. Spider's Prize has neared some Weird Al. I have a Weird Al. It's like the Essential Weird Al. It's a 3 CD set that came with a vinyl in the same set. So it's like the sleeve has the CDs, and then the vinyl slides into it as well. It's crazy. K-Master says, do you have any anime soundtracks? I have a lot of anime singles for like openings. I don't think I have full soundtracks. I have the Bayonetta 2 limited edition CD box. That one's pretty cool. I also got one. There was a Zelda anniversary they did that was like I think it was their 35th anniversary. They put out a CD box. I got that one as too.
If I were to, I have the Smash Brothers, like Nintendo Club Nintendo CD.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty cool. I have what was it? There was a couple Wii game collections that had CDs that were included.
Kirby and Mario. I know for that one.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, Master Man. That is a Transformers pillow. I got that somewhere. I don't know where. It just ended up there. Yes, I did watch Golden Kamuy because Man with a Mission did an intro. I've been following that band for like 10 years, which is crazy. So it's like, you know, they're like, oh, we did the opening for this show. And I'm like, let me watch this show. And I'll be like, I didn't like Log Horizon. It happens. I watched Golden Kamuy for a few episodes, and then I just kind of...
I remember watching that. I liked that one when it came out.
I thought it was pretty good. It was one of those things where I was like, this is pretty good. I don't feel like watching the rest of it. And that's the thing I've started to accept is like, there's some shows I'll just start and never finish. And that's cool. Yeah, that was kind of the thing with any Sonic albums. I have the first 2 Sonic movie soundtracks on CD, but I don't have the third because they didn't release a physical CD of it. They only released a digital, a vinyl, and a frickin' cassette tape, but not a CD. So that sucks.
Hey, look, the record makes sense for you just get a record, play, live and learn from it.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Common Jojo says favorite Kamen Rider openings. You know, one of my favorites actually is Life is Showtime from Wizard, and I have the actual single for that. I bought way back when. It used to be a lot easier to import CDs. I was like, has the shipping thing gotten crazy and made it like unaffordable to buy CDs? Hiroko Moriguchi just put out a new album of Gundam song covers with like full orchestral arrangements, and I was like, oh, I kind of want that. And it was going to cost me like $65 to import that one CD, and I was like, never mind.
If there's any band I would do that for, it'd probably be Jam Project because I love Jam Project so much.
Jam Project's great. That's always solid. Master Prince at any game soundtracks. Like I said, at Bayonetta, I have a Zelda collection. I have
Love to get the Sonic Frontiers soundtrack, but that was like huge. It's like
Yeah.
a 3 disc, like 3 or 4 disc soundtracks.
it's
my
like
God.
4 discs, and then they also released an appendix album.
For the DLC, for all the
Yeah.
DLC songs. Like, God damn, that's gonna be expensive. I know that if I were to import that.
Yep. Any Crush 40. I don't think I technically have any Crush 40 on physical. Plenty of movie soundtracks. I have plenty of movie soundtracks. A lot of musicals. For some
how many
reason,
that-
I was buying all the Arrowverse soundtracks for a solid 3.5 years.
how many did Kaguchi plagiarize for Budokai? For those movie
A lot.
soundtracks.
I have all the Tron albums on physical CD as well.
Where you get if they do over Aries, will you get it?
If they make a CD, if they make any other format, I'm out. It's funny because I forgot to buy the Tron Uprising one for like 10 years, and then it was still miraculously available on Amazon because it was a manufactured on-demand release.
That's nice.
So now I have it. But yeah, I would get the Aries one. I mean, because because like Aries, the only one thing I'm confident about Tron Aries is that the CDs or the soundtrack's gonna be good. Benjamin Wiseman has Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the album of Rock Adventure. That one's pretty cool. Fan of Chatter says, you get my CDs from Tsurugi with free shipping. I might try that. I didn't think about doing that. I should look into that. It's a good idea. Best says, any Disney soundtracks? I got several. I got Frozen 2. I really like Frozen 2 soundtrack.
Speaking of Comrade OPs, is there any OP that you didn't like at first, but you really grew to like? I think that's for me is for me it's probably both Revice and Gav, because I didn't like those when I first heard them, but like I didn't like them at first, but like they listened to more, it's like, damn, the song's like catchy. It's like I did not like Got Boost for a long time, but then I took another listen and like, damn, why is this song a bop?
I think Got Boost sold me on like episode 7. I was just like, no, this is great.
I see that they Got Boost fits with an action show, but like it's still a good song by itself.
Yeah, it definitely is. Kamen Joe just said Kyoryu Yujiro OST goes insane. I have the song collection for Kyoryu Yujiro because I love that. I love the song collection they did. It has like it's a 2-disc collection. It was insane. Yeah, no, I do have I have the Across the Spider-Verse, the Metro Boomin album for that. I bought the physical of that. I was kind of like whatever, I'll just buy digital because what do? I just put the CD in the computer and then I just copy it. But
so you physically own the Miguel Elfin noise?
yes, I do. I physically own that. I love that album because that's an album I can play just start to finish because each track leads into one another, which just makes it really great.
Because like I think the Spider-Verse fans are my favorite like background like soundtrack like their soundtrack and the back like OST. I think Spider-Verse is my favorite OST I heard in the movie because it's so really good and such.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's the thing. It's like if it makes a huge impression on me, like I'll want to seek out a physical copy. But now I've really gotten into it, and like and yeah, so like I've gotten back into it now, where it's like, okay, if I'm gonna own an album, like Seth MacFarlane just put out this album of Sinatra arrangements that were never recorded, that people he knew, like his music producer on Family Guy, knew the Sinatra family and found out about these arrangements that were done for Frank Sinatra that were never actually recorded. And so Seth MacFarlane, because he can do swing music and he's got like a good voice for it, was like, well, I'll record them. And
Seth MacFarlane, like even if you don't like his like work, he has a fantastic singing voice and his music's
absolutely.
really damn good.
And then the booklet on the physical CD has like notes about every single song and like how the arrangements were done and like what makes them different from other versions and stuff. And so that's the thing. It's like if there's a good booklet included, like you can sell me on a physical copy easily. But yeah, it's been interesting because I went from like, oh, I'll just buy the digital, like whatever, to like, oh, I got it on Apple Music. Oh, but I really like it. I'm gonna buy a physical copy of it. So I've been doing that more. And
that's me with manga or comics. Like if I really like this really a lot, I will pick up like a physical version or like a electric edition or something like that and such.
Yeah, and it's definitely it's just like with digital comics and like having Marvel and DC unlimited stuff. It's just like sometimes I'll just be like trying it digital and then I'll be like, I really like it and I'll buy it physical. So that kind of works. And also kind of worked out too is like with the Seth MacFarlane album, I I pre-added it on Apple Music once I found out about it, and then it's like at midnight it dropped, and I got to listen to the whole thing, and I was like, I want this, and so the next day I went to Barnes & Noble and bought the physical copy of it. So, it's kind of fun. Common Jojo says, any K-pop? Not in the physical sense, but I've been listening to more because of a certain movie we'll talk about in a minute.
How topical.
Actually, side note,
But
is that soundtrack available on a physical CD?
It better be.
Because
It
I would
better be.
totally buy a physical CD. I'm not going to ever buy vinyl. I'm beyond that. Dang, I don't think they do have one yet.
You need to be like super like retro cool though vinyl.
The thing with vinyl for me is that, okay, yeah, they don't have a physical CD, at least on Amazon yet. Thing with vinyl for me is like I appreciate, I respect vinyl, but like, welcome Toma. I respect vinyl, but like I don't want to like deal with it. It's like too much. Like I don't want to have the room to have a player. I don't want to deal with the room for like, they're huge. CDs I can just manage easier. And I mostly just listen to my music digitally anyway. So it's like I respect vinyl, but I'm never gonna end up becoming a vinyl guy.
Vinyl is like VHS. You have to be you must really like the vibe of it to
Yeah.
really get into the hobby and stuff like that.
No, definitely. Last thing, Jamie's what said any J-pop. I guess not specifically because like Man with a Mission rolls more J-rock, but they do pop songs too. I like artists that do multiple genres, and I know people hate that sometimes, but like if an artist is just like, here, I did a whole album of pop songs, and then the next album's like all swing music, like you've totally won me over.
The Guilty Gear soundtrack in a nutshell.
Yes, exactly. That's what I love about, especially Strive's soundtrack. It's just to be like, all right, we're gonna do this heavy hard rock, like real angry, like Gold Lewis theme, and then it's just gonna be like, and then Jacko shows up, and we're like going to do Popping Hearts, and it's like I love it.
Or you get Elfelt, which is both.
Yes, Elfelt was just both. I liked what was it? Testament song was like so fun because it's like the main like chorus is like hard rock, but then like the lyrics are like a ballad, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. I love that stuff.
And then there's songs where you can tell that Daisuke loves Freddie Mercury, and those are some of my favorite songs.
Oh, totally. Fan of Chowder says vinyl's gotten real expensive. Collected for the past few years and only shifted to CD. I only buy vinyl for my favorite artists. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I think that price is a big factor. Now that I've inevitably got back into CDs, the price is going to go up. It's inevitable. But I'm going to try to get what I can while it's still available. I need to like start backtracking some of the Beatles albums I like.
Can't wait for when you get down this rabbit hole. You make a whole sound music hall videos now.
I hopefully won't get to that point, because also it'd be very one note. Because like of this, like I just bought like I was on deep discount. They had a music sale, and it's like here's 3 albums, but they're all from the same artist. So it's like it would not have as much to say. I got a lot more variety going on in like the Blu-ray and the comic stuff. Okay, this will be the last music-related question because I could go on for days. Benjamin White says favorite Beatles album. Let It Be, their final album, but specifically the Let It Be original recording version that they released in 2003. Because like there was this whole issue with like one of the producers on Beatles music like did a bunch of remixing, did a bunch of additions and posts that didn't sound like the way they had agreed the album should have sounded. And so then later on, Paul McCartney got the clearance to like release the original versions. So like specifically Let It Be's like 2000s re-release of it. Yeah, I just didn't want to put the title in the stream because I don't know if YouTube would complain to me, but Spin Dash put it in there. But yeah, no, that's my favorite. I've listened to that album. I think I got really hooked on that album because of the Get Back documentary, which also kind of made me a Beatles fan because like it was like they're always just like these huge sensations and like evolutionary parts of music, but then like watching the Get Back documentary, I was like, oh yeah, they were also just people. And so like that's where a lot.
I need to listen to more. I hate using I hate using the phrase real music, but like I need to listen to non
soundtracks. Yeah.
Music, yeah, I need to get better in that because like I need to listen to more like just more like I love like listening to like stuff from the 80s and 90s era stuff because I hear that in movies and so like I'm familiar with that song like Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire or stuff like that, but like I need to get back to actually listening to like stuff outside of my comfort zone sample because like there is
I've been doing that too. I realize all my favorite music sources from movies and TV, but like I can expand beyond that. It's like just take the thread and then just run with it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think what I need to do is probably just like, oh, if I really like this song from this artist, I should listen more to a lot of their songs. And that's like I
Mhm.
like Billie Eilish, for example, because I really like a lot of their his songs, especially that.
Yeah.
Um,
Spin Dash says Revolver's my favorite Beatles album. So fun fact, again, I guess this will be the last thing. I'm gonna be on this for a while. I haven't listened to Revolver yet because what I ended up doing was that when I got my Apple Music, I was like, I should listen to the Beatles chronologically. And I kind of hate their first album. I didn't like their second album. But then A Hard Day's Night comes along and I was like, oh, they're starting to get it. And then I'm up to Rubber Soul, and Rubber Soul is like amazing. And I was like,
is that the
oh,
is that
that's the
Luffy's
moment.
theme?
What
Is
was
that
that?
Luffy's theme?
Luffy's
Is
theme,
that
yeah, Rubber
Luffy's
Soul.
theme?
No, Rubber Soul's great because they got to play around a little bit more with style. Which again, that's my whole thing. Is like if you switch up genres on me, I'm more in. So I haven't listened to Revolver yet, but that's coming up. I've just been kind of like spending some time with each album. It's just been really fun. And then favorite Beetle Borg, probably Lady Borg. Lady Borg was a badass. Nobody gives Lady Borg credit. Okay, nobody
Was
gives
that
Lady
was that
Borg credit.
was that the butterfly one?
Yeah, it's the butterfly one. She was cool.
I didn't realize she was in Beetleborgs. I thought like they skip her because like didn't she only makes like only like 1 or 2 appearances in the show?
Yeah, I think she's only
It's like-
in Beetleborgs Metallics for like 1 or 2 episodes, but yeah, no, she's cool. She's like awesome. And Spendesh says that Billy Joel went to his high school, which is cool.
That's cool.
Comment Jojo, the rumor of the Ultimate Marvel Comics ending is not true. It was all a misinterpretation. So cool. All right. Last week on the channel, I spent the Tuesday without a couch stream producing a 47-minute video on Planet of the Apes, filmed, edited,
For the monkeys.
all in one go. People really liked it. I got a lot of good comments on it.
I
Yeah.
appreciate the Dr. Zayas clip.
Yes, I also I put the Dr. Zayas clip in it, and I was like, I have to make sure this passes copyright. But I think if I make it just short enough, it'll just slip right in and be good to go.
Dr.
Yeah.
Zayas, Dr. Zayas.
Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas. Had a fun time with that video, so if you guys want to go check that out, good stuff. And then I did an Ultraman Trigger Blu-ray review. I wasn't gonna do that till Decker came out, but then I was just like, yeah, I don't want to do anything else, and this is easy. I promise you, though, if you found this Mill Creek Ultraman video to be boring, I found it to be a little creatively boring because there's nothing wrong with the set. The next one, oh god, people got review copies of Ultraman USA, and we're looking at possibly the worst Ultraman Blu-ray release. Possibly.
Nothing will be as worse as Shin Patch's Shin Ultraman.
Oh,
Like,
it could be
like,
worse. It could be worse. If what has been said online about that release is true, I think it would actually be worse. Yeah, because the current standing, for those who want a little tease, is that apparently there's no subtitles on the set whatsoever.
But for the Japanese, because in their closed captions.
No.
Oh, no, not even closed captions.
There's no closed captions and there's no subtitles. The Japanese audio is completely raw. If it is true, which, you know, it probably is. But if it is true, there is no subtitles on the Japanese audio. Which just makes me say, why'd you even include it then? But we'll get into that. What is that? July 1st is when that comes out? So that'll be very soon. It'll be a fun one. It'll be a fun video.
I mean, would that video also just be a history of Ultra USA in general at that point?
I mean, I might as well. Like, I can throw in, like, you know, I kind of feel like, you know, I'll have to provide some context for people because that's a weird project in and of itself. Mm-hmm. Last week on the shorts tab, we had, I don't know why I said it so forcefully, shorts. Anyways, on the shorts tab, I got the Sonic Transformers.
Happy birthday, Sonic! It's
Happy
his
birthday,
34th
Sonic.
anniversary. It's his 34th anniversary today.
Yeah. People like that short. I might circle back and do Mando and Naruto because I didn't do this.
I was about to say, wow, those views. That's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, that did really good. A lot of comments, people going like, you should do the Mandalorian and the Naruto. I'm like, probably I will.
I like Speed Booster a lot more than I do Wingtail. Wingtail, I think my problem with Wingtail is the clearance of transforming him gets in the way with all the wing panels and the tails, especially.
He's a little finicky for sure. He's really finicky.
Sonic, booster. Blue Booster is really just fun to transform because he's just so simple but satisfying at the same time. I really like and such. No, in my head, these are not Cybertron. These are just mechs for Sonic and Tails in the universe.
I also did a little short on my Epic Collection shelf, because like I spent all my creative energy doing Sonic and Tails and apes. So I was like, let
You
me
didn't
just fill
have
my shelf.
you
But
didn't.
I was also messing around with the audio on my phone, because there's different audio
I was saying,
settings. Yeah.
I didn't notice that. I was like, whoa, this is weird. What the hell? When I first heard it, it's like,
Yeah, I've been tweaking with it because you can change the audio settings on the phone. So I was like, let me try hear how it sounds. It sounds pretty good on the phone, like on mobile, but like playing it on a TV, it sounds horrible. So I'm working on tweaking it. Some of these shorts are just experiments in like audio and video quality
classic
tests.
case of is a classic case of Santa versus audio design. Round 37. Let's go.
Pretty much. So that sometimes you guys will see a short where it's like, why'd you make this? It's just because I'm testing equipment basically to see how it would go.
We're the we're the test dummies.
Yep, because the thing with YouTube in particular, you don't know how it actually will look or sound until it's uploaded in public. Because even uploaded in unlisted, it doesn't look the same and sound the same. Like YouTube compression is a funny little thing. So I
Yep.
sometimes I do just test run things. Um, yeah. Anyways, you guys want to talk about some movies?
Yes.
Elio. All right. So Elio came out this past weekend. This is the theater
If you
release.
didn't know, if you didn't know, I don't blame you.
It was really funny. I saw an outpouring of tweets that were not. I didn't know this was coming out, but I thought it was boring and I didn't want to see it. And that was people recounting their kids saying that. So this is probably the most poorly marketed animated movie I've seen in my, I don't know, probably this decade. I know Transformers
Even
1 is a pretty famous example, but this I went from
Tier
like
one, tier one had marketing.
yeah, this movie it had marketing, but it was so poor. The marketing quality was so poor because I was watching this movie, not even realizing that like Zoe Saldana was in it as a main character, as a co-lead.
Because backstory, like this film was meant to come out last year, right? But
I
then it
want
got
to say it was
delayed.
2023 at one point.
Yeah, it got delayed. One of the few times where a Pixar movie got delayed like that, and such. So I did think that didn't help either, because like with some exceptions, delayed movies don't do very well because like it was like they forgot to market it because they usually
Yeah,
forget
it
to
was
market
supposed to
film
be March
got delayed.
2024, and then in 2023 they delayed it till 2025, and that was they said
How?
it was due to the strike as well as change in leadership. It also got
Wait,
completely retweaked at that point, which is the part they don't tell you. But
I'm
we
assuming
learned
it has
that.
to be the right. I'm assuming it's the writer strike, right?
It was the SAG after strike because of the actors involved.
Oh yeah, because it's what was the rule? It was a TV animation was an exception.
I think all
Was it?
animation was an exception. That was basically it was a thinly veiled excuse to we're retweaking the entire movie with a different director,
Yep.
which is what happened.
It's like Brave all over again. If you know that
Yeah.
story.
So the thing is, I think this movie was actually really solid. Um, I just I went into it going, I just want to go support an original Pixar movie that's not a sequel. That was all. I didn't have any interest in the movie, like personally. I was just like, let me just go see it. But it's actually really solid. And then they left everything unique and fun of it out of the marketing completely. Like this is the story about a boy who feels lonely on Earth and wants to get kidnapped by aliens because he feels like everything will be better there. And then he meets another alien who is part of a war conquering species, and he doesn't want to be a war conquering species. He doesn't want to be a war machine. And so the two of them kind of end up forming like a friendship because they both feel kind of alone and kind of weird and outcast of their respective societies. And then they end up working together. And then there's like a whole big story about like, are you truly alone in the universe kind of thing. And all of this is wrapped into a very nicely told story that goes into like the history of space exploration and talks about like kind of the struggles of single parenthood. Because one thing that's weird about this is that they downplay the fact that in the story, Elio, and one of the reasons why he's kind of like offcast from everybody is that his parents die in an accident, and his aunt is the one taking care of him, and she's like a main character. She's like like I said, the co-lead of the movie. She's not even on the poster. She's not in any of the marketing, and so she's kind of overwhelmed trying to take care of this kid who's very hyperfixated on getting kidnapped by aliens. And it kind of like it takes on all these extra layers that just weren't even present in the marketing whatsoever, and kind of did a disservice to the whole movie because I think some of the best elements was the interactions between him and his aunt, them trying to figure out how they're going to do things. The setup did remind me of the setup to Megan, which may be a negative to some people, but I just found it amusing because Megan 2.0 is next week. Um, but I think the biggest problem with this movie is that the marketing downplayed the scale and scope of it, because in the marketing it just kind of seems like, oh, he goes to an alien ship and then there's that, but then it's like the alien
It kind of
ship
reeks
and like
of.
is like it's like a council of worlds, and they're like doing all kinds of like
It
different.
reminds me of. It reminds me of like those like the Senate the Senate
Yeah,
scenes and not the Senate but like those big like crowd shots in the prequels where you see all these different alien races like ET discussing
yeah,
politics
and it's
almost.
kind of like that, and they're like, we're having a communion of thoughts, and then like the villain of the movie, which is the guy in the middle, top middle here, he's like, like his son goes missing, and he's like, you give me back my son, or I'm gonna blow this whole place up, and he's like a pretty threatening villain. But there's a
That
lot
sounds a
of
lot
like
like that sounds like Chicken Little almost the
a
way
little
you
bit,
describe it.
and it's kind of like really cool because there's like a big discussion about like the societies that create the people within them, and like who feels like an outsider, and is that a bad thing, and there's a lot of great heart to it, and there's like a whole supporting cast on Earth that again never even touched in the marketing.
I
um
think the marketing has any of the Earth shots. I think
yeah,
besides him being abducted, I think it's just all aliens and stuff like that.
it kind of reminds me of how Elemental is marketed completely off of the look at these elements working in the same city, as opposed to like this is a romance story and a story of immigrants. This movie is like, it's kind of similar, where it's like they focus so much on the alien stuff, but it's really like the alien stuff is just part of like the overall
Like
story of
it's like
connection.
Lilo and Stitch where the alien stuff is part of the whole story, not just it's
Yeah.
also a family story at the same time. Which I mean, sounds a lot like this film. What I
hmm
hear.
This film, it's got a lot of shades of Lilo and Stitch. I gave it 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. I thought it was pretty
Which
good,
doesn't
but it has
which I guess
there's
doesn't
something,
help.
the sci-fi elements feel a little I don't want to say reductive. I want to say they're just kind of they're the sci-fi elements feel like stuff we've seen before. I don't think they did
It's
anything new with the like
it's
alien
not
side of
like
it.
it's not like like Lilo and Stitch where the alien stuff works its way back into the family story. It feels
Right.
like from what you're telling
I
from
mean,
what you're saying, it does.
there's some good stuff with again, it's kind of spoilers because of the way the marketing left it all off, but there's a lot of great stuff when the ant becomes aware of the aliens that I thought was really good, and it was really funny. And I think the problem with the trailers is it did make the movie seem kind of boring in one note, when there's a lot of elements going on that they just decided to leave out of every single marketing thing. Like
Kind of feel
I could
like
probably cut a trailer for this movie in like an hour that was better than any of the trailers they released.
It does feel like Disney is sabotage because the fact we made the Lilo and Stitch comparison, which is even kind of worse now because of the live action
Mm.
remake out and such. So it feels like Disney is really self sabotaging themselves here
And also
with
on top of
having.
that, this movie, this release date of June 20th, absolutely terrible release date. This was coming out less than a month after Lilo and Stitch, a week after the How to Train Your Dragon remake, and it's not a movie big enough to compete with those. It's not a movie big enough to get kids' attention with when those other two movies are right there. And also on top of that, parents don't have enough money to take their kids to the movies every week. It's like once a month if you're lucky, right? And so this movie should have come out back in like March when there wasn't that much coming out. Like it should have hit before Minecraft, basically, is kind of what I think would have worked better. Mr. Over says same day as 28 years later, and I saw someone else mention that. Those are completely different audiences, right?
Wait, he's a horror film and all
Yeah,
that
like
stuff. Yeah,
28 Days Later is like an adult aimed horror movie. This is like a family film that like is appropriate for kids and stuff. And
but yeah,
those are two
but
different
yeah,
markets. Those are two different audiences,
but still, like it's next to How to Train Your Dragon and Lilo and Stitch, and
which
then
are in the same family circles. And
and then it
we're
doesn't have
right
that.
before July, which has Jurassic World, Smurfs, Superman,
Yeah,
and Fantastic Four.
yeah, yeah. We have yeah, like it's good. I don't think this film's gonna have the Elemental comeback.
No, it doesn't have enough
For
space
example.
because with Elemental, their follow up, like in July, it was a June movie, but it was the only PG movie in a month full of PG-13 movies, and then the following month was like Barbie, Oppenheimer, and Mission Impossible. So
Which
Elemental was the family movie of the summer, whereas
yeah,
Elio has a lot of competition.
because even though Barbie is the closest to being a family movie, it's still kind of it's kind of Barbie's weird because it's kind of aimed at older audiences, sort of. Would you say Barbie's kind of weird?
Barbie's a weird one. Welcome, Counter 64. Barbie is a
But there's
movie
also
made for adults that kids can also watch.
but also it's even though it's a gender neutral film,
Yeah,
little boys go yeah Barbie, girls you and all that
right.
stuff.
And
such. So, like elemental's more easier to convince like little boys
yeah.
to go like, oh, that's a cartoon film. I like cartoons and all that
Also,
stuff.
Barbie ends with her going to a gynecologist. I would say it's more of an older kid movie. I wouldn't take a
Yeah.
younger kid to Barbie, you know? And so I think that's kind of like that's why Elemental could work with that because it was the family movie of the summer, whereas Elio has too much competition. That honestly is more appealing to kids.
And it doesn't
Like,
help that. And it doesn't help that. Even like in August, you got like Bad Guys too,
yep.
and such like that. And I feel like Bad Guys is a more, I think, appealing film for kids because
Yeah,
the wacky cartoon animals and
it
all that
also
stuff.
is like it looks more appealing, but also it has like its trailers are exciting. There's action, there's thrills, there's drama, and there's action, thrills, and drama in Elio, but they didn't put any of it in the trailer. They're like, look at our weird aliens, and I'm like, they're not that weird. The aliens were kind of the weakest part of the movie, and maybe that's why they were like, we don't know how to like work with this, you know. Infinite said, "Did you get a Tangle yet?" I haven't. My Walmart's still stocked with eyes.
Well, I think also I don't think she's available in the West yet. I think she's only still Canada. I want to say still.
Counter64 says, think we should have gotten a Superman and Fantastic Four double feature. No, I think they're still too close together at 2 weeks apart. When it comes to programming movies into a schedule, you want opposites. If you're going to open movies the same week, you want opposites. Elio, 28 days later, or 28 years later, totally fine. Those are completely opposite movies. It's different markets.
The reason why Barbenheimer work is two drastic differently movies.
Yes, you had one that was bright and fun that like everybody could go to, and then you had Oppenheimer, which was dark and serious and mature, right? Like so you had
or Paw Patrol, Saw X and Paw Patrol.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how you do counter programming. Like, for example, Bad Guys 2 and the Naked Gun reboot come out the same week. Naked Gun reboot's definitely more adult aimed. Bad Guys 2 is more family friendly. I'm in the tiny circle that overlaps those two audiences, and so I'll be seeing both that weekend. But usually that's how it goes. Is that they usually horror movies will open opposite. Like Megan 2.0 is coming out next week. I don't think there's anything competing with it because a bunch of stuff has come out, and it's like that movie's a PG-13 horror movie / action movie. So, but it's like definitely an older PG-13, right? So it's it's not going to be like kids are not going to. Well, I mean, some kids maybe go to it. There's demented children. Anyways, it's just all kinds of stuff like when it comes to scheduling. I think Elio was just sandwiched between too many things.
You'd be surprised how many kids really like horror.
Yes.
Like, surprisingly.
Five Nights at Freddy's proved that.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, I think Spanish thought it was already out, so YouTube over the weekend. Which movie was already out?
Elio?
I mean, Elio is out. Megan's coming out this weekend. It's fun because I'm going to a convention on Saturday, and then I'm going to go to see Megan on Sunday.
Oh, where are you going?
Local convention.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, Megan. Yeah, no, she's supposed to be out on the 27th. Oh, yeah, F1 comes out this weekend. That's right. I forget that movie exists because you want to talk about a movie that looks boring to me is F1. I've heard it's good, but I heard it's good, and people are like, oh, it's like the Top Gun Maverick guy, and I'm just like, yeah, and I didn't like Top Gun Maverick that much. Anyway.
Oh, really? Is that your Peter Griffin?
My hot take is I lived with somebody that was in the Air Force for 20 years, and so he had notes the entire movie. my dad every once in a while we had to pause, and he's like, so this is why that wouldn't happen.
Is it like one of those videos of medical professional reacts to medical movie or medical game?
No, legitimately, and it like he didn't want to see it in theaters. We watched it on streaming because he was like, I can't go see this in theaters because there is no way Tom Cruise would be allowed to be in a fighter jet. And that's I was like, you're right, he's too old. Like that there are age rules in flying, So yeah, that's why we didn't go see Tom Cruise Maverick.
Man, the Spider-Man movie sucks. That's not how you actually web swing. This is how you web swing.
I mean, I was watching Spidey and His Amazing Friends over the weekend because they had a Jeff the Landshark episode, and I realized that those kids run off the PS1 Neversoft game Spider-Man physics of web swinging.
Web swing through clouds?
Yeah, they web swing on thin air. It's not even a cloudy day. It's like, what are they even latching on to? But yeah, no, the thing is, because the thing with Top Gun Maverick, right, is that it plays itself like it's serious and intense and like realistic, and they shoot it realistically and stuff. And my dad's just like, this isn't how this would work. Yeah, Infinity Wartord said it's a theme carrying into the F1 movie because Brad Pitt is ancient by F1 standards. Yeah, that's what also I thought. I was like, Brad Pitt, you're way too damn old to be doing this.
Question: did your dad have notes on for Taylor and Power Rangers Wild Force then?
Yes, which he usually
He did.
does. He was a little kinder on it because the thing was is that he's like, yeah, it's a kid show. It's not taking itself that seriously. And I was like, it's about presentation, right? Like if you're portraying it as a fantasy, it'd be one thing. But they were just like, look how realistic it is, and he's like, yeah, but
He was like, "No, ain't it?"
it's like when I watch any like movie or TV show that's like, like every time Power Rangers does they're on a movie set, I'm like, no, they aren't. Like it takes me out of it. It just completely does.
No, you see, Power Rangers always does the Pee Wee Big Adventure version of
Yes.
of a movie set.
God, it's
Yeah,
so
right.
funny because it's just like every time a movie set doesn't look like a movie set in a show, I'm just like, why are you not just turning the cameras around? Like, you all know how this is made. You're doing it. Why can you not portray it well?
Because it's not as fun. Because it's not as fun as
Exactly.
running into a Godzilla movie. Like
Every
like you
every movie that has a character run onto a set and then is in a misunderstanding, I just want to scream because that would never happen. There is like 4 or 5 layers of security before you get that far. You will know you're on a movie set. You cannot ignore the 50 people at minimum that are around the scene.
Hey, look, it wasn't for Arnold stumbling into that guy. He wouldn't give to Jamie his Turbo Man doll, okay?
That one I believe because parades are chaotic. Like, oh, they just picked up some random guy thinking he was a replacement. Yeah, okay, I believe it. But when it's like, I forget what movie I saw recently that did this. It was just like they run onto the set and then they like save somebody that's in trouble. It's like it's actually a movie. I'm like, did you not notice the crowd of people and all the cameras and the safety equipment and the trailers and the trucks and the security and the lights and like it just blows
You know,
my mind.
it's ironic his next movie has stuff like that, technically. We're gonna talk about
A little bit, yeah. A little bit, yeah. But no, anyways,
well,
it's just
with
it's why I
that,
appreciate things like like the Fall Guy was not that great of a movie, but I appreciate it because I actually felt like I was on a movie set during that
what's
movie.
so sad? What he's saying is he didn't appreciate Ninja Steel having Mick just I'm mad because the substitute teacher without no paperwork or no nothing.
My mom had a problem with that because she was a teacher. It's funny because I have the same issue at the end of Elio. There's one little hole in the ending, and I'm like, this would not be a happy ending if they remember that this is a thing. Um, anyways, K-pop Demon Hunters. let's pivot. K-pop Demon Hunters. Where I thought Elliot was pretty good, I thought K-pop Demon Hunters was amazing.
Oh
Um,
man, this film's so good. So
this is
you don't know
great.
this is done by preview that this is done by Sony Animation Pictures, and this was announced. I think the same around the time Mitchell's vs. the Machines came out on Netflix back in 2021. I want to say.
Yeah,
So this was in the works for a long time. So I was really happy to see it come
Oh,
out.
was it?
Yeah, this was announced a while
they kept
ago.
it quiet, and then I think
I
the
just
trailer dropped
found out
about a
about it
month.
yesterday.
Yeah, like the trailer dropped about a month ago, I think, and my friend was like, "Look at this," because my friend's a big K-pop fan, and I was just like, "Wow, this looks really fun."
Do you know how I found out on Netflix? I was just watching Kinnikuman, and it's like, hey, you want to watch this next? And I'm like, K-pop Demon Hunters. That sounds dumb. Then I saw the trailer, and I was like, actually, it seems cool.
Yeah,
I know, right?
I did a full 180.
I just heard like the premise of they're K-pop stars, but K-pop stars, but they also Demon Hunters. Like that sounds fun. I want to watch
yes.
this.
And I saw the trailer because I saw the title. I was like, "What is this?" And then I saw the trailer, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this looks amazing!" And it was. Oh, this is like the kind of stuff that like I look for in movies because this is an anime movie. It's aimed at family audiences. It's got some edge to it. It's got some darker themes to it. It runs on familiar tropes but tweaks them in really interesting ways. It's also a musical, which is like awesome because it's an action movie musical, which is like so rare and never
Yeah.
happens because you can't coordinate action in live action dancing that well, but you can totally do it in animation. We should do it more. Um,
hmm
and the animation is just so much fun
It's
and
so expressive. It's
so
because it's
expressive.
not. It's not like Spider-Verse style, but it's similar. But like the expressions of them doing the wacky anime expressions in that Naruto is so fun. It's like half anime, half Looney Tunes almost. I love it.
Yes. There's this great gag with the Huntrix, which is like the main group here. There's like this K-pop boy band that shows up, and there's this one guy that has like these crazy abs, and the girl,
Abby.
like one of the
His
girls,
name is Abby.
his name is Abby, yeah, and one of the girls' eyes turns into like a row of
Popcorn.
like no, it is great.
Corn.
At first, it's like a corn on the cob, and then butter gets slapped on it, and then it turns into popcorn, goes into a bowl that the other one starts eating out of. It's
love
just the coolest thing. It's like it is such a great visual gag, and I love that it got approved because it's more fun than I've seen in like anything in so long.
It's so good to see anime movie to speak cartoony like that.
Mm,
Yeah, what I love is like they know when to use the cartoony scenes and cartoony animation, the more serious animations very well. It's nice to see a good balance of that. It's not like they're going like Squadron Stretch, Looney
mm.
Tunes, and the action scenes. No, they're well choreographed, like very fantastic
And if you're a fan of
choreographed.
K-pop and a fan of K-dramas, they put in so many references to things and homages and stuff that like it like if you don't know it, you can still enjoy it, and if you do know it, you get an extra level of enjoyment. And it's great. I really really liked it. I had so much fun watching it, and it's a visual treat. The music's great, like and they
Soundtrack,
got
yeah, the
K-pop
soundtrack.
bands to come in and do the music for it, so it has like the authentic feel to it. It's like I think the entire cast is Korean. I want to say,
Yes,
yeah. It was written by women, right? I think it was like all the
yeah,
writers were women.
yeah. It was great because I love it. There's a tweet I saw where it's like it's nice to see. You can tell this is written by women because the girls could actually have fun.
Yeah,
Geek it, grow out and be silly and such, which is great to see and such.
it's
I
a
really,
blast.
yeah,
Like I cannot recommend it enough. And I'm people are like, oh, this should have been in theaters, but I'm like, there's a lot of people I've been seeing. They're like, I'm on my fifth watch, and that wouldn't have happened in theaters. I think more people are going to end up watching it because they can just hit the button on Netflix and go like, let me watch it. I think that it's like it would have been nice to get a theater run, but I also think there is some benefit to it being available on like the most subscribed to streaming service. Because
I'm really glad it's doing well. It's
yeah,
like number one. It was number one in the USA.
all weekend it was number one. The soundtrack is like hit like 1 million listeners on Spotify already, and it's like number one on the Apple Music charts. Like this is great. K Master says, how do you rank this movie with other Sony Pictures animation movies? So have I only seen the Spider-Verse movies? Yeah, I think I've only seen the Spider-Verse movies. But among those, I would probably Into the Spider-Verse would be third. And then I think Across the Spider-Verse would be one, and I think this would be like a very, very close number two. Because I thought Across the Spider-Verse was
Have you seen
insane.
Mitchell's vs. Machines?
I haven't.
Oh,
Um,
really? You haven't seen
yeah,
that one.
I was back binge watching TV shows instead of my new thing of listening to music and watching movies and not watching TV shows.
I think you'll like that. I think you should watch that with your family because it's a
Yeah,
very family film.
I'm gonna go throw it on the Letterboxd watch list because that's a thing now and it's helpful. Letterboxd made me like collect
I
my
need to get
thoughts
a
on movies.
letterbox. I need to get one like you guys.
It's really fun because it's like I can kind of like I can track things like a lot easier, and now like I just throw things onto the watch list, and I have like an easy watch list that's separate from like streaming services and stuff. This is really helpful. Um, yeah, so no, I don't know what else to say about it besides it's great and everyone should check it out. Because even if you don't,
It's
even if you somehow don't like it, you will not regret watching it because it's a beautiful piece of art. It's great.
it's really great to see such a original, creative anime film like this because yeah, like Elio is original definitely, but like I feel like this one has this more like creative blood more
Yes,
into it
I think
than Elio.
Like I said, there was several elements that made me like there was a plot point that just made me think of Star Trek: The Motion Picture. The setup reminded me of Megan. Like I was comparing it to other movies while I was watching it, whereas this I was like I've never seen anything like this. This was just like it felt so fresh, and even when they brought in some familiar story tropes, the way they did them was so cool. Like I really liked the way they handled it. Yeah. Mr. Everest said, "Go watch the movie Surfs Up." I did see that. I haven't seen it since it came out, but I did see it back when it came out. I remember the Wii game for it was really bad, but
you seen any of the Hotel Transylvania movies?
I haven't, even though I should.
That's right. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right. You haven't.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, those are great.
and those,
Texas
those,
style.
I mean, they're universal. They're
Yeah.
Universal Monster.
They are, yeah. No,
Universal
it totally,
Monster,
should be in my wheelhouse. The thing I find, and this is
I love those movies.
this is not like a problem with these movies. I want to say this is just a personal thing. I just don't tend to watch a lot of, like, if I miss a family oriented animated movie when it comes out, I just don't circle back around to it. And it's like I should, because there's obviously some I should watch, like Hotel Transylvania, and Mitchell versus the Machines. But it's like if I miss the window, I somehow don't circle back around to it, and that's really bad. Because there's a lot of stuff I missed out on. Like I watched all the Despicable Me movies like before 4 came out, and I was like, wow, these are actually great. Like, also thank you Letterboxd. I could type Hotel Trans and it got me what I wanted, which was Hotel Transylvania. But no, it's like I need to like
First 2 at
watch
least
more.
to watch.
I'll go through all of them. You know, like I'm one of those guys. Spider's Prime says, I've seen Cloudy Chance of Meatballs in theaters. I missed it in theaters. I saw it in a high school class. I think it was home ec, substitute teacher. They're like, we're going to watch Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I'm like, okay, sure. That movie's pretty good. Yeah, I want to watch Hotel Transylvania. Yeah, it's just like sometimes I have to have like a reason to go look it out, because it's like, but that's also because I get really insular about like the genres I watch. Yeah. Anyways, always trying new things, because K-pop Demon Hunters was fantastic. All right, the Surf's Up soundtrack. I feel like I own the Surf's Up soundtrack. I just have a feeling I do. I don't know if I do. I'm gonna go check my cloud library. Hold on. I'm not sure, because it sounds familiar enough. Okay, the only thing that shows up when I search Surf is Silver Surfer. Yeah, that tracks. What was on that soundtrack? Here we go. Oh wow, no, that's it. Damn. Okay, yeah, no, that is a banger soundtrack. All right. So now that we've had an hour of reviewing 2 movies and talking about unrelated music things, should we get to the news?
Yes.
I guess we should. Yeah. What else? I don't know. We got any further thoughts on movies? You guys are going to be getting a lot of movie reviews in the next few weeks, because I think I'm going to the movies every week from now until August 17th. Except I think I'm skipping the week Smurfs comes out, and that's otherwise I'm going to the movies.
You don't want to watch Smurfs.
I saw the trailer and I wanted to throw up.
I know, right?
Wipes.
You know what's even worse though?
What?
Is I saw this trailer for this movie about like a girl with like a dollhouse of little cats, and I was like, what the hell is this? And then I find out it's been running for 5 years on Netflix, and is like, it's had like 111 episodes or something. Like, I was just like, what? How did I've never even heard of this. It was so weird.
You gotta love where you say, "Oh, that looks neat." It has how many episodes?
Exactly. I didn't think it looked neat though. I was kind of like, this looks terrible, but I was like, this. It was called like something the movie, and I'm like, so obviously there's something else, because you don't just title it the movie unless you need to distinguish. Very weird. I also saw a poster for a movie called Animals on a Bus, and now I can't find anything about it online, so I'm kind of half convinced the poster's fake.
Or is it a Mandela effect?
Maybe. I don't know. Welcome, Jeremy Carr. Common Jojo, do you think they'll do the full set of Dino Thunder after the Black Dino Thunder? No, I think the only reason we're getting a Black Dino Thunder Funko Pop is because it's Tommy. I think that's it. All right. It's them comic books. So, this is a funny title to an article. Jason Todd to survive Hush 2 with adult Red Hood solo series. I didn't know Jason Todd was in trouble of not surviving Hush 2, because I have not been following Hush 2.
He survived Hush. Okay, he lived through the horrors that is Hush 2's.
Yeah. Hush 2, by the way, has been delayed again, and they decided, you know what, screw it, Matt Fraction Batman's still coming out in September. And I gotta respect that.
Because aren't they going back to number 1?
They are, yeah.
Run, right? So like that's their excuse. Like, look, you like, I'm curious how they're gonna keep going with the numbering then for Hush 2.
Because Hush 2 is gonna keep the numbering that started with the Tom King run. Yeah, because we had the Tom King to the Zdarsky, or no, it's Tom King to Tomasi to Zdarsky. I don't know, whatever. We've been running the same numbers since Rebirth. We're starting number 1 with Matt Fraction, and then Hush 2 is still going on like 150 whatever. Also, I was watching a live stream from Casually Comics earlier, and she kept calling it Hush Tua, and now I just can't get that out of my head.
Ew.
Anyways, there's going to be a Jason Todd series, Red Hood. He's going to another city. It's a brand new made-up city, which is called, what is it called? New Angelique. And it's going to be part of DC's new mature readers all-in label for 17+, which is an interesting thing, because all their mature-rated titles lately have been out-of-continuity Black Label stuff. But this is in continuity, and so there's that. Somar says, what did they put black around his eyes like Zartan? What's this meaning? I think because they didn't want to give him a helmet anymore. They're like, here's a hood and a mask. Also, Huntress is going to be in it, too. And apparently they get kissy-kissy, according to this cover here. Which, yay? I don't know. I have no idea what they've been doing with her ever. Because, like, I haven't been following all the Batman stuff. Like, they did Helena Wayne as, like, the Earth 2 version, and then they reintroduced Helena Bertinelli in that weird comic where Dick Grayson was a super spy. And then I have no idea what they've done with her since to, like, put her in the trajectory of Jason Todd. But
I'm not sure I like Jason's, because I didn't really like his. Was it start with the Rebirth where he had the, or the Dawn DC with the hood and the face mask look? The face.
I like that one too. I really like the Three Jokers one where his motorcycle jacket looks like the old Robin coat.
I kind of like this new design because it just kind of feels like, because he just looks like a Robin with a hood. Even though I feel like Jason Todd should get away from the Robin identity. Like I don't mind being paired with the Robins, but like either having the motorcycle helmet or like the mouth plate.
I'm glad he doesn't have a bat logo on his chest anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he kind of does,
weird.
but I hated the bat logo on his chest ever since they did it. But anyway.
So pretty much, so I understand pretty much this is it's mature readers, but like because Black Label's always been
out of continuity.
Off-canon. Yeah. So
this one's in continuity.
So this is their way to have they're pretty much making like a new label, and like I guess like Marvel's Red Band, where it's in continuity but it's for mature readers pretty much.
Yep. And it's also raw and stripped down storytelling, violent, gritty, and even a little sexy. We could use a little sexy back in comics again, because Avengers Academy shouldn't be the horniest comic on the stands.
I mean, like I really like Jason as a character, but like I hear stuff like that and I get nightmare flashbacks of Red Hood and the Outlaws, and like not
you know what's
again.
the best? You know what's the best Jason Todd comic of the last decade?
What?
The Batman White Knight Red Hood 2-issue miniseries.
Oh yeah, I need to read the White Knight stuff.
I
need to really
like,
read the White Knight stuff, because I heard it's actually pretty decent.
It is. I really like White Knight universe. But that Red Hood, it's like a 2-issue Red Hood comic. And I'm like, why is this the best thing that Jason Todd has had in 10 years? And it's in an alternate universe Black Label book.
Oh yeah, because I always think like Jason is a great supporting character, and when he's like guest starring, but like always never felt like Jason can hold his own book that much. Because I did read.
He's like Punisher. You gotta get him in like bite-sized chunks, right, Cass?
Yeah.
We talked about Punisher being bite-sized chunks a few weeks ago, I think. But yeah, no, it's just I don't know how it's gonna go. We'll see. It's funny though that they can't get him a love interest that's not inside the Bat family anymore.
I know.
Even if I don't even know if this Huntress is in the Bat family, I feel like she just doesn't do anything.
Because is she more based? Is she more based on like how what Unlimited did, where she's the daughter of the crime boss?
Yeah,
like
it's the Bertinelli version, but I don't know what she's been doing lately. I know she was in Mariko Tamaki's Detective Comics run, and I didn't read that. So, Batman. Falcon's Fun said Huntress's costume seems like they're trying to go for a Spider-Gwen adjacent look. Yeah, they've been doing that for a few years now.
Have you seen Good Heroes' new Spider-Gwen? I'm not sure that's gonna become like a thing in the comics, but I really like that new Spider-Gwen outfit design.
All right, next up, DC is introducing a new book with new characters. It's going to be called Court, Children of the Round Table, by Tom Taylor and Danielle Dianiculo. And it's going to be these kids, and they have like Arthurian ancestry and stuff.
And a something of something?
Yeah.
Cue that cool theme song?
Yes, that was kind of the vibe I got off of this as well.
This looks. I like the premise. I like what we see of it. It's nice to see like another new IP from.
It's nice to see new characters that aren't spun off from another group of characters.
Yeah, like because I really wish they did more with the We Are Legends characters because I
That
really
being
love
said, can we rename Blonde Kid to something besides Connor? We have too many of those in
too many
DC.
Connors. Yeah, I know. But this I might check this out because it looks really cute and like I think the premise is really fun. Like this is
Mhm.
like it's good. It's nice to have all ages books like this that isn't
Yes.
just because I think the problem with there are all ages books out there, but like a lot of especially from mostly from the big two that are pretty much made just for kids. This one
They
feels
feel
like a
like
nice like
promotional pamphlets for kids more so than like comics for kids, which these are, and I think these are great
yeah.
because we need something that's higher than preschool, lower than the young adult graphic novels, which are
Yeah, I think
Ain't that true?
stuff like I think like stuff like Sonic IDW is a great,
yeah.
good, like, point of a
And
great
Dina Kulo's
all.
art style works really well for this. I think too. I think this is a great
Mm-hmm.
art choice.
I think and Tom Taylor's a good writer. Tom Taylor's a good writer
Blade
for this
Raider
because
said DC is full of pros and connors. It's true. I mean, two of the most famous legacy characters they have is Connor Kent and Connor Hawk. Like,
yep. Yeah,
yeah.
and I was saying, yeah, Tom a good writer for this because he's a great. I think out of all the writers DC has, I think he's a great all ages writer because I feel like
Yeah.
Nightwing, like his Nightwing run is a great, like there's definitely adult stuff in it. I
Mm.
think you can easily give that to a young kid and they'll really enjoy it because it's very fun. It's really fun and
My
adventurous and
first
stuff like
Batman
that.
comic had Batman being have the role take over by a guy who was really cool with murder. So I turned out all right. As I still tell people, yeah, my first Batman comic was like the debut of Azrael Batman, which I got years after it happened. I just like the cover. You can start anywhere. But I think this is great. I think more books like this would be good. I hope this succeeds. I hope it doesn't get kneecapped by the publisher like the way New Champions was.
I feel bad 'cause I really like when I read New Champions. It sucks getting canceled, which we're gonna get to in a minute.
Is it bad that like they canceled it and I just don't feel like reading the rest of it now?
It's so sad because I really like the new characters they
Yeah.
set up there. Like they were really fun. They were like legitimately really fun, fresh new blood. Especially
Mm.
Hatsune Miku Ghost Rider.
I It sucks too because New Champions got canceled, and the Spirits of Violence series is like on indefinite hold. So it's like, when is she going to get to be in anything again?
Oh no.
Phantasma's great. All right. In the world of Marvel and DC crossovers, we got Deadpool and Batman coming up. There's going to be backup stories in these, which includes Green Arrow and Daredevil, Crypto and Jeff, which is just the marketing plan of the summer, and then Captain America and Wonder Woman. So the main
Damn it.
story is going to be Deadpool and Batman, and then the backup stories are going to be from different people. It's going to be Kevin Smith and Adam Kubert for Daredevil and Green Arrow. Captain America and Wonder Woman will be Chip Zdarsky and Terry Dodson, and Jeff the Land Shark will be Kelly Thompson and Guru Hiru.
And like, damn it, now I need damn it, now I need to pick up this series. 'Cause I want to read those backup stories more than I did in the main book.
Yes, I also love Marco Cacchetto drawing Green Arrow. That's like a dream.
Mhm.
Also,
'Cause, like,
people were like, "Why isn't it like Daredevil and Batman or Daredevil?" I'm like, "No, Daredevil and Green Arrow makes the most sense, like thematically."
It's Meredith, Green Arrow, and Hawkeye. That's the most generic because they're both
Exactly.
guys.
Exactly, and I think this is like stylistically and thematically, Daredevil and Green Arrow is like a huge, big, easy pick.
They would Cap and Wendy.
Cap and
They
Wendy,
work
yeah, I
together.
think they work really well together too. Jeff and Crypto is just going to be the cutest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I also
down
like
for that one.
the writing team because you got because Chris has written Green Arrow before, hasn't he?
Yes, Kevin Smith wrote Green Arrow. He did Daredevil, then he went over and did Green Arrow, like the back to back. So
And then of
yeah,
course Kelly Thompson can you back to Jeff again.
yep,
And because isn't Zdarsky writing for Cap's newest series, right? Upcoming
yes.
miniseries.
Cap's doing, yeah, he's doing his Cap. He's never written Wonder Woman before, but anybody that's not Tom King.
Yep. It's nice. Yep.
I miss reading Wonder Woman on a monthly basis, but I can't do it with Tom King.
Yep.
Yeah. Now this is the backups for Deadpool versus Batman. We don't know what the backups are going to be for Batman versus Deadpool yet, because that's coming out in a later month.
Any you want personally? I'm ready for Robbie and Jaime.
I want
Even
the Reyes cousin reunion. Yes.
you want
I
to do
just
the
want them to
Predator
point at each other like, we got the same last name. Are we related?
Do you want Spider-Man pointing meme or a Predator handshake with the two?
I want them to I don't know. That's not gonna make any sense to anybody that's not Mexican.
No, but that's the whole point.
It's gonna be like a fist bump, and then it's like, let's go get food. I know that's like a big
Yeah.
trope that like people don't like, is like, you know, Hispanic and Latino characters always saddled with food, but like in this instance, I just want them to go hang out and like get a burrito. Like,
I mean, they could go to Jaime's Diner. He works at.
that'd be great. Jaime's aunts can just like roast Robbie about his hair. It'd be awesome. I'd love it.
To be fair, so now if we ever finally meet in person, that's probably what we're
getting
gonna do.
food. Yeah,
That's what I'm
exactly.
gonna give. Exactly.
Are you gonna do like the
I
Bay-
know
are
it's
you
a
gonna-
stereotype, but it's realistic. Damn it.
Are you gonna do the Baymax blah, 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 hip fist bump?
We could, yes. Could be a lot of things.
Possibly.
Kama Jojo's like, yes, I do that every day, and then just put like the Mexican flag, a burrito, instead of it's an enchilada and a taco. Not an enchilada. I can't see. Hold on. That's a tamale. Anyways, I was so blind. I had to like walk. I had to move my head closer to
What you
the
mean?
computer to figure out.
Emojis be small.
Yes. LPH wants the Spider-Man static. That'd be great. I don't know how legally that would work, but that would work. Spider's Prime said
Obviously-
John Kent Superman meets Miles Spider-Man. In a way, because it would piss off the internet more, I want John Kent Superman and Aaron Fisher Captain America.
Well, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be cool.
It'd be really cool. Also, it'd be great because, it seems like the LGBTQ characters only get to hang out during Pride Month.
I know.
Yeah. Anyways. Hawkeye teams up with Hawkman. That's Muteki. You're just trying to appease my personal interests, and I appreciate it.
What do you want? Green Lantern's Guardians team up?
No. And you know why? Because I feel like that'll just become a cop and robber story, and I feel like that just kind of reduces both of them a little bit.
What'll be a perfect DC counterpart for the Guardians?
For the Guardians, okay, well, the perfect one they'll never do, which is Legion. Not Legion of Superheroes, Legion, the modern Legion that was in the 90s, because they were a ragtag group. I guess, Guardians could meet, what is a DC team that's like really ragtag? Somebody like the Doom Patrol would be a great crossover.
Let's say, is it Suicide Squad? Because I feel like that's the most obvious answer for most people. Which no,
you gotta do like Suicide Squad and Thunderbolts. That would be. But
Thunderbolts on Wheatie Box. They're better than them.
Okay, Thunderbolts and Secret Six.
Yes, there you go. Much better.
Peacemaker said, "Who would be best for a double date with Harley and Ivy? Mystique and Destiny."
Yes,
it'd be like having Bonnie and Clyde and Thelma and Louise crossing over. Like,
yes. Would the Secret Six be on Wheatie Box?
They would be, yes. I would put them there. I mean, some people might be like, they've killed too many people. I'm like, well, Congressman Barnes once liquefied a guy in a jet engine, so I think it's fine.
Yes.
The Secret Six are great, because the thing I like about Secret Six versus Suicide Squad is Suicide Squad, they're forced into it, whereas Secret Six is they're trying to do it themselves. They're actually, like, Secret Six are making the attempt on their own. Love Secret Six. Don't love the current Secret Six. Love Nicole Maines. Appreciate Nicole Maines. I don't know why that book's called Secret Six. Anyways, Star Wars is getting another ongoing. Oh wait, no, this is a 5-issue miniseries. Okay, this is a 5-issue miniseries.
What's the current state with Star Wars comics? I thought they were moving all to Dark Horse, or what's going on?
Dark Horse still is doing the all ages books. Marvel's current thing now is that they're finally going past Return of the Jedi. We are now in the post Return of the Jedi, that gap between Return of the Jedi and Mandalorian, right? There's like 7 years they haven't touched. That's where we're at now with the comics. The main Star Wars book is there. The Dr. Aphra book takes place there. This Han Solo miniseries takes place there. There's also a Kylo Ren comic that takes place between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. And then there also is... we're just getting to the Marvel stuff, Blade Raider, we're just DC. And then there's a Jedi Knight series that obviously takes place in the prequel era. So that's kind of where we're at with Star Wars comics. High Republic's dead. Thank God, those comics were awful. Anyway, I'm just throwing hot takes on the stream today. This is basically be like this I think is closer to the Force Awakens time frame, and it's like Han going like, "Where's my ship?" and then like Lando's helping him, I think. I'm into this stuff mostly because Lando's here.
Everything's better than Lando. With Lando, they're
Everything is better with Lando. That's why Rise of Skywalker is my favorite sequel. I don't think it's good. I just like Lando's there. It's so funny because like
those characters on Ford and Williamson looks a bit odd. I
look
would
very
say.
strange.
I think it's their hair. I think it's their hair.
It is definitely the hair. The funny
Also,
part.
Chewie's melting. I don't know. Chewie looks like he's about to like be in. He looks like he went to the M room with Kaus.
Yeah, he went to Floor M. So the thing is, because here's the thing with Rise of Skywalker, just not to make this a Star Wars stream, but you know, here we are. The thing with Rise of Skywalker is that they're like, look, you get Lando back, but we gave Poe Dameron the typical Hispanic drug dealer backstory.
In the case of the not gays.
I was just like, what? Just both at the same time? Like, you can't just give me Lando and not mess up Poe Dameron? They're like, he had a girlfriend and he ran drugs, and I'm like, that's the two things I didn't want for him. Damn it. Anyways, I don't have anything to say about this actual comic. As you notice, I've gone on to another tangent. All right. Because Secret Wars is coming up, we're getting a new Battle World comic, which has this rad, like, you know, freaking landscape image.
So is this just like an event or just a book?
I think it's just a mini series where everybody just gets thrown into Battle World and they have to slap fight each other until it's over.
Okay, that's not bad.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Like, it just looks fun.
I just think Miles is back in his new-ish costume before they force him back in his old costume.
He keeps bouncing back and forth. Like, every time I see him, I feel like he's in a different outfit.
Yeah.
I do like that both Daredevils are here, and I do like that there is a Ghost Rider for some reason fighting Black Cat. And I also like how I can't tell which Ghost Rider that is because we've got Ghost Rider. What did I call it? I called it something great last week at the comic shop, and I can't remember what I called it. Ghost Rider character blindness syndrome, because like a lot of artists will just draw Ghost Rider and then realize, and like I look at it and like, you drew Johnny Blaze with Danny Ketch's shoulder spikes, or you drew Danny Ketch without the spikes, so he makes it look like Johnny Blaze. Like, it's
what would be like the evergreen Ghost Rider design?
The evergreen Ghost Rider design is the evergreen Ghost Rider design is the Danny Ketch. That's the one they used in the Nicolas Cage movie, and they was playing Johnny Blaze. Because spikes make everything cooler.
I kind of love like idea of evergreen Ghost Rider just combining every single Ghost Rider design to one. Yeah, it's like Robbie's like white pattern, but like Danny's spikes, but Johnny's bike.
Yes, I saw that one time. Someone drew it like that once on a variant cover, and I screamed.
It's just the Ghost Rider. It's like the Robin, where they just combine every Robin together to just make the homunculus Robin.
Yeah. Also, someone said both Daredevils. Yeah, Matt Murdock on this side and Electro Nachios on this side. So both Daredevils.
Yeah, I'm really starting to see Felicia much in promise. I really heard, and I heard that, like the Jed McKay Black Cat series is like really damn good. I'm like, let me read it.
It was funny because they led into it with she showed up in Avengers, and then they're like, and now she's in her own comic. I'm like, oh, surprising but cool.
Yeah, I heard it's like it's really good. So it's like, no, I might check it out on Marvel Unlimited then.
Also, there seems to be some multiverse shenanigans because we got like a Storm wearing like what looks like a prison jumpsuit with the M symbol from Bishop's timeline. So,
babe, look, new Storm variant.
Yep. Hey, look, Hasbro, that one's easy to make. Peacemaker said, I think Fortnite did that this season. I swear their Robin is both Dick and Tim at the same time. Yes, they were also confused because they said it was Tim Drake. His variant costume is Red Robin, and they put a picture together of him and Starfire looking at the sunset.
It's like that's the Robin. Because it's Donna DC Tim. It's his outfit from Donna DC, I'm pretty sure.
It was funny too because I think somebody on Twitter replied to Fortnite and was like, "You put the wrong Robin there," and they're like, "Well, how do you know that Tim Drake can't just go platonically sit on the edge of Titan's Tower with his friend's ex-girlfriend, or is his brother's ex-girlfriend? Is that too weird for you?" I was like, "Damn, Fortnite, all right." Speaking of MCU synergy, Muteki, they've announced that Night Monkey, the gag from Spider-Man Far From Home, is going to be a character in this.
What? I mean, I guess it's a Spider-Verse. It could be it's an infinite amount.
So, speaking of multiverses as well, how long? Wait, hold on. Is this it's a 5-issue series? Anyways, speaking of multiverses in Marvel, there's not an article for this because a bunch of this is unconfirmed. The September solicitations left out several books. West Coast Avengers was confirmed by Jerry Dugan to be canceled after 10 issues. New Champions has been confirmed to be canceled after 8 issues. Psylocke and Magic have vanished. There has been no confirmation from anybody that's worked on them that they are canceled. There's some kind of X-Men event coming up, and they might have just been put on hiatus for the event and possible relaunch because From the Ashes has been a complete disaster, and they're probably starting over again.
That's a good thing, right?
That's a good thing because From the Ashes has been terrible, and I'm not afraid to say it. I miss Krakoa. But anyways, the only because I will say this, the only good book out of From the Ashes is Storm, and it's like it clears. It's like a top 5 books on the market right now, but it's not good that that's the only good X-Men book at the moment. So those happened. Iron Man's been canceled after 10 issues. That's confirmed.
Which ouch! I heard that was really good, and just
Yep.
it was like, damn.
Dead. Werewolf by Night. This was a little while ago. Werewolf by Night is ending after 10 issues. They canceled the trade for Werewolf by Night because it took so long to get the first trade out.
What?
They canceled it and then resolicited it for January with all 10 issues plus the Blood Hunt one shot plus the Michael Giacchino written one shot that's coming out. So now it's a $35 complete collection instead.
I mean, I guess that's the better. I guess that's.
I was
good, at
like,
least.
because I got the cancellation notice from Amazon. Because what I do is I don't buy my books on Amazon, but I pre-order them so that like Marvel knows I care about Werewolf by Night, right? I pre-order them, and I got this cancellation notice. I was like, what? And then I like went back and I was like, what happened? And I just like typed in and I saw that there was a new solicitation for all 10 issues plus the one shots, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. I was like, what? Don't cancel my Werewolf by Night trade. And also the current Ghost Rider book is on complete hiatus to the point where they left Spirits of Vengeance off with issue 6 on a cliffhanger, said it'll be continued in Spirits of Violence, put it on the schedule, took it off the schedule, and it hasn't reappeared yet. We'll see in October, I guess. Meanwhile, every Ghost Rider's stuck in limbo.
So it's not just Robbie's not alone.
Robbie's not alone. Phantasma's stuck in with them. And I don't know where New Champions takes place. I think it has to take place prior to Spirits of Vengeance because she's stuck with Robbie in the Void. And then Danny and Johnny are dealing with stuff, and then Ghost Rider 2099 got uploaded into a body in the present day, and because Ghost Rider 2099 has like a Ghost in the Shell kind of thing going on, where his like consciousness is a separate floating thing, so they pulled it from the future and put it into a present day body.
It sounds so cool.
It's so great. I love Spirits of Vengeance was great, and like it was weird because it focused as Vengeance as the main character, but like they started bringing in every Ghost Rider, and then they're like they kept putting Ghost Rider 2099 on covers. I'm like, why are they doing that? He's not in this book. I don't even think it's possible. And then they just like did this thing where they downloaded him from the future, and I was like, what the hell? That's amazing. Welcome, Mr. Tanuki. Yeah, it's cool. What about the first white cowboy Ghost Rider who's not Ghost Rider? Yeah, it's Phantom Rider. That's a whole thing. There's like 5 of them. Yeah. It's a legacy thing. One of them tried to rape Mockingbird. Anyways, I said the wrong words on YouTube. Let's move on. I get talking about comics and I forget where I'm at. All right, Spider-Man 94. So this is kind of the big news for comics, is that there is going to be a comic continuation of the infamous cliffhanger from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. And then there was a little bit of drama. Let's get into the details. It's a 5-issue miniseries. J.M. DeMatteis is writing it, so it's going to be good because J.M. DeMatteis does not miss.
Wasn't he a writer on the show, right?
Yes, he did episodes of the show. The cool part about J.M. DeMatteis is that he can take an idea that sounds stupid on paper and make it amazing. Like the What If Jason Todd Lived comic they did recently. Which just felt like some kind of crazy cash grab, and then J.M. DeMatteis was like, let's go over to the psychology of what if Jason Todd lived? Would he still be messed up in the head really bad? And yes. I came out of that comic going, he should have died. For years, I said they shouldn't have killed him off, but I was like, no, he was better off dying and being resurrected as Red Hood than what happened to him in that book. So, thank you, J.M. DeMatteis. Brilliant writer. And then the artwork's going to be Jim Toe. So, we got this cool cover. Got all the villains on it, which is neat. You got the action figure variant cover that always is weird, and that's a thing. And this other cover that reminds me of season 1 artwork with Venom looming. And this is going to hit in September. Now, the big question a lot of people had was, is John Semper Jr. involved? And the answer is no. because Marvel is like that. He put out a statement, and
I always find it interesting with this scenario like
yeah,
this because like how do like the Marvel go-to writers go like, "Oi, do you want to write this?" Like, is that how it works? Like, I always wonder like what's
it
the
depends. I think with an idea like this, Marvel's like, "Hey, we need somebody to write this," and then they go into their Rolodex and they're like, "Yeah, J.M. DeMatteis sounds about right." And John Semper Jr. Found out when we did this was happening. Now here's the thing. I'm seeing a repeat of history here because when Secret Wars was happening, Marvel did a miniseries, X-Men 92, that was a quote-unquote continuation of the original X-Men cartoon. And then they did a spin-off into several other miniseries. And Eric and Julia Lewald were not involved at all. They didn't even know about it. They didn't have anything to sue about. So when this comic was announced, I was like, they probably didn't call John Semper Jr., and that's the confirmation here. Now, of course, the X-Men 92 comic sold well enough to get like several miniseries, and then eventually we got X-Men 97, where the Lewalds actually were involved because they, made sure they were involved in every meeting, because they were the ones telling Disney, hey, you should make the show. So, there's a chance that this comic's successful, and then they decide to do a revival, maybe after your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is done, because you don't want too many Spider-Man. You can't have 3 Spider-Man cartoons at the same time. That'd be just too much.
what preschool shows exception because that's 2 different
Right.
markets. pretty
2
much.
different markets. You don't need, if you make this show, it's going to be in the same market as Friendly Neighborhood. Now, Nuteki says, so the 92 Comics X-Men canon of the show. Nope. They were for a time because there was nothing continuing, but X-Men 97 just kind of pretended those comics never happened, which was good because those comics were not great. They weren't written by J.M. DeMatteis, for example. I think that the Spidey cartoon, this is them testing the waters for it, and if it doesn't ever materialize into a new show, they at least have some form of a conclusion for it, which I think is good. Because I think that not only do you not want 2 Spider-Man shows in the same demographic at the same time, you don't want 2 90s shows at the same time, because that makes your brand look stagnant. So I think if we were to get a 90s Spider-Man cartoon continuation, it would be after X-Men 97 is done and after your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man's done. Like, both shows would have to wrap up, and then, yeah. But we'll see. We don't even know if there will be even an option to continue the show in a few years, because according to Disney, streaming was dead 2 years ago. So, I don't know what's going on. But I'm excited for the comic. I will tell you, if it was somebody that normally writes tie-in comics, I wouldn't be as excited, but J.M. DeMatteis, I'm in. I'm sold. I'll be there day one. That's because DeMatteis knows how to write comics.
I would say because it's 4 issues, so I'm really hoping. Like, I think I could trust him, J. Myers, but like, hoping in 4 you can tell this whole story. Because writing a conclusion in 4 issues, that's a big tool.
My guess is it's going to be the search for Mary Jane, find Mary Jane, and that's the comic. I don't think, and then leave it open so if they want to do more comic miniseries, they could. I think the main focus is going to be like, let's find Mary Jane. I don't think they're going to try to wrap up like everything. I think they're just going to focus on the Mary Jane part. That's my guess. Again, you never know. All right, if you've been wanting to read Charles Soule's Daredevil run, which you might because it's not like the entirety of Daredevil Born Again Season 1 was based on it or anything, Marvel's doing something interesting. They're not modern era epic collections, and they're actually priced cheaper, but there is 3 trade paperbacks containing the entire Charles Soule Daredevil run in $35 paperbacks where you get 350 to 440 pages, depending on which one it is. This is weird, because Marvel has been very much doing epic collections over complete collections, but they still throw out some complete collections for some shorter runs. But these are kind of complete collection-like, and they're all coming out the same exact day in February.
So there's all 3 parts, or how many parts is it gonna
All
be?
3 parts in one day.
It's like, so I guess you get your pay the full price to get all 3, or you could piecemeal it pretty much.
Pretty much. By the way, guys, X-Men 97 Season 2, they confirmed it's going to be next year. Because they had production delays because they fired their showrunner for being a creep. Anyways, so I've read this run. I think it's pretty solid. People have been wanting the omnibus reprinted, and people also found it weird that there was no reprints of this material at the time that the show was going to do it. But
well, because they did the what's the
retooling?
I have that. No, what's the where they're not the compact editions called again from
the
Marvel?
premiere editions? Yeah,
they did because they did the premiere of what's the Born Again,
which has not, which they already adapted Born Again in Season 3. They were just using the title to be cheeky and
yeah. So it's the same name. They did the same name tie-in, even though it's the wrong story arc.
And so
Scenario,
these are going to be probably out just in time for season 2 because they're coming out in February. I think season 2 is going to air March of next year. I'm going to try to keep it consistent. But yeah, so it's going to be Back in Black Part 1 and Part 2, and then the Death of Daredevil. And it is just the Charles Soule stuff. They didn't throw in the Jed McKay miniseries that took place right after this. So it's the same contents of the Omni, just split into 3 paperbacks.
Will you say this is a good entry point for Daredevil?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I did get the Born Again premiere edition. I haven't read it yet, but like I got
that is the best
so,
Daredevil story ever written. Like
yeah, so I definitely need to read that. I need to read that soon.
I would say the Charles Soule stuff is good, especially if you enjoy the show. I think the Charles Soule stuff's good. I think it's easy to approach it. It's got this really cool thing. He's got this sidekick character named Blind Spot, which kind of acts like his Robin. And I think he's really cool. And so I think it's a really solid run, and it's nice to see it get reprinted because I know people were frustrated by the fact that like they didn't even reprint the omnibus in time for the show. So I have the omnibus because my comic shop happened to have a copy. Didn't have the dust jacket though, which is making me tempted if they do reprint the Omni. Maybe I'll buy it again to get a dust jacket.
You can save money. See if someone sells the dust jacket.
I've been looking for the whole year I've owned that omnibus, and I need to look into someone just like because there's people that sell custom dust jackets. I just need somebody to just make me a dust jacket. I'm not picky. But anyways, that's kind of an interesting thing. It's interesting to see Marvel do something like this instead of these being epics. But you know, the last one is 440 pages at $35, which is cheaper than epics. Which that would be a $50 or $55 epic, especially with modern.
I hope they do more like this because I like the idea of like for budget sakes, like
yeah.
Oh, they released they split Omni in multiple parts. So if you want,
kind of like how DC has been doing compendiums that are just the Omnis but in paperback.
Yeah, I gotta hope they do more because much as Omnis are great, they are expensive.
Yep.
And such like that. So
and
it's
unwieldy.
Yeah, so this is a good budget option for that sakes.
I definitely hope they sell well because I would like to see more budget options. And kind of like I think the idea too. People are like, oh, would these be reskinned as the Epic collections later down the line? I don't think they would because they don't have anything that's not written by Charles Soule. So if it was because the Epic collections tend to contain more than just a single writer.
I mean, what's nice is we have the complete run right away because they done stuff like for them like I'm so pissed. I don't do we have anything past volume 1 of the Kelly Thompson Captain Marvel series post volume 1 of the compendiums yet or no?
Nope. Still waiting on volume 2 was on the schedule, got taken off.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like at that point, I'm just gonna get the Omni at that point. I'm just gonna get the Omni at that point because like what's the point? They're not because clearly that was meant to tie in with the Marvels and like it'd be really nice if you release others for people really like that first volume first companion.
Yeah, I definitely think this is better than doing especially those Saga collections where they're just grab bags of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
These are definitely better. And the Saga collections I like the most is the Vision and Scarlet Witch and the Hawkeye because those are complete runs.
Like, just complete, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Dynamite Comics continuing their Let's Dive into the Hanna-Barbera library. Blue Falcon and Dynomutt are next up for a dark gritty reboot because that's what it looks like.
Wait, is this the same Dynomutt and Blue Falcon of Mystery Incorporated, the Dark Knight Returns versions?
I think so. It's going to be Jimmy Palmiotti, which is cool, and then artist Pasquale Quilano. They do say, and this is the funny part, is in the thing they say, bringing a fresh modern edge to the pair's heroic adventures. The new take. It dives deeper into their bond and origin, not as a simple reboot, but as a darker, more emotionally grounded story of resilience and revenge. Revenge? What is in their backstory that needs them to have revenge?
It got bitten by Ray like the Scooby snack.
Now they're still pissed about being terribly portrayed in Scoob, I bet.
I know, right?
I'm loving all the blood on the Blue Falcon comic. I've been enjoying Space Ghost, but Space Ghost sometimes gets into that try-hard edge at times, so I'm kind of hoping this, like... I don't know. I like the talons on his feet, though. That's kind of rad.
I kind of like how Gotcha Man looking Blue Falcon looks.
Very. It's been Dash Revenge on Birdman for that court case. Exactly. Exactly. I always love the covers on these because, like, the Space Ghost does the same thing where it's like, all right, here's your hyper realistic cover. Here's your goofy cartoon. It's like wild. This one's nuts. The Dynomutt.
Really with the realistic one, I still hear Gary Owen's voice coming out of the realistic ones.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, just that presence voice.
It's
What's the voice by
Yeah.
Diedrich Bader in Mission Incorporated.
I think so. I think so. If he wasn't, that would be good casting. I will also say that when it comes to this, it's funny reading Space Ghost and then reading the Johnny Quest Space Ghost team up comic, because the Johnny Quest Space Ghost is done by the Johnny Quest team that like wrote that like it was the '60s show still, and really fun and bright. It's like then Space Ghost is kind of back to his normal self.
Is it like the Hello Kitty Gundam crossover?
Well, not really, because it's like if Amuro was also a Hello Kitty character, because Space Ghost acts like a '60s cartoon in the Johnny Quest comic, whereas in his own comic he acts like, serious, mature. Like
Now I'm imagining like 60 giant quest dark gritty Space Ghost. They shake it and Space Ghost is like back to 60s self one
Yeah.
handshake.
It's like when Hello Kitty turned everybody into SD Gundams in that short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. All right, you guys ready for me to just babble? So the Star Trek comics recently wrapped up. Really great stuff. And they're starting a new era. And so the next ongoing Star Trek comic, which is going to be, what is this? Who's doing this? Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing are going to be writing The Last Starship. The Last Starship takes place during the burn, an event talked about in Discovery, except the main character is Captain Kirk, who died about 600 years prior to that. So what? I'm very confused. I don't know how this is happening. They haven't explained. Why does this cover say it's $13.99? Oh, it's a foil cover. Why is there a foil cover that costs $14? Who's buying that? Anyways, their big advertisement is that Captain Kirk is going to be like a main character in this book, even though he's been dead for a long time and has nothing to do with Discovery. Even though this is a Discovery like era, it's sort of Discovery era sex. It's like still like 100 years before Discovery's future time frame. I guess I'll let you guys know in September, because I have no idea what's going on.
Maybe they pull Ripley and the bad alien sequels and just clone.
Yes.
Kirk.
Mr. Doogie did say, yeah, Picard Season 3, the Dacian Vault had Kirk's body next to a Genesis device. I have a weird feeling that's what they're doing. And then they're going to time travel him forward.
I mean, I don't think Cons and Kelly are bad. Like, they read some good stuff for them, but like, there's a lot of recent stuff.
Kelly and Lansing are great if they're not writing X-Men.
Because their Guardians, their Guardians must start out pretty good, kind of in the middle.
It ended good.
Season, right?
I like what they did with Star-Lord better than Hickman's doing with Imperial.
Once the 5-hour essay about Star-Lord.
I have to wait till Imperial's done, because it may turn around. But anyways, I'm not over the fact that like Star-Lord and Nova at the end of the Ewing run, we love each other. We're probably in love with each other. We're gonna start a throuple with Gamora. Star-Lord and Nova in Imperial, we barely know each other. We haven't had any experiences. We've met like co-workers, and I'm like, what? You guys were like ready to bone each other at the end of that last Guardians issue, and now you're just like, oh, we barely know each other. I'm like, no, this is what the who is not reading their comics before writing them? Anyways,
Nova and
Trek.
Peter feel like Nova and Peter feel like Bill and Ted. To me, like they give a Bill and Ted energy to me. That are Booster and Ted.
Yeah, Booster and Ted, whatever energy they give, it's not barely know each other.
Yep.
Like you don't spend 100 years in the Cancerverse keeping Thanos contained, dying over and over for each other just to go, we barely know each other. Like
Out of context, Santa.
Yes, I love comics. You know what I love more than comics though? Not much, but I do love Blu-rays.
Yeah. I was about to say Blu-rays.
So Thunderbolts, is getting its digital and Blu-ray release dates. So it will be coming out on digital July 1st, and the physical release is slated for July 29th. Pre-orders are not live yet. The Walmart exclusive edition will have a pop-up cover, which includes Taskmaster. The Steelbook has everybody on it, which does not include Taskmaster. And the standard cover also includes Taskmaster.
I like what the fuck this is Taskmaster.
Yes. The way that they just took the image of the poster and then just cut it up and rearranged it for the flip out case is just kind of like sending me a little bit.
Why is one of the variant covers not the Wheaties box?
I don't know why they didn't do the Wheaties box. This is the image from the Wheaties box on the standard cover. It's just not the Wheaties box. Um,
I'm not sure it's depressing or like depressing or not that the fact we're getting Thunderbolts this soon on home media
two
scenario like that.
months. 2 months.
Like God, this poor movie. It's such a good like. This is such a good movie, man.
We
Like it's
promise
such a
it's
good.
good. No one just went to see it.
I know. It's like one of the best MCU movies in years. Like
Yep.
personally, God, it's so good.
Yeah, and then also, yeah, it'll be on Disney Plus sometime later, but I'm gonna get the Steelbook. I love the Steelbook design. It's so
I'm
good.
glad they're put because back in the day it's Disney Plus first, then home media. I'm glad they're now reversed now, where it's home media first, then Disney Plus. Thank God.
They did confirm they're not going to make any more of those behind the scenes specials for Disney Plus, and so I'm kind of hoping we'll have more than like 20 minutes of bonus features on this to make up for
Hopefully
that.
that means the Blu-ray the series Blu-rays will come back eventually.
Yeah, that'd be
Maybe.
nice. It's been, I don't know, they went up for a pre-order in October last year for the last wave, so it's been a while. I will say though, the behind the scenes thing was funny because everybody was like, "Where's the Daredevil behind the scenes special?" And they're just like, "We're not making behind the scenes specials anymore," because I think they realized how much of a Frankenstein duct tape nightmare Daredevil was, and they're like, "We can't spin this to make it less look good. Screw it. We're not doing behind the scenes anymore."
And they didn't want to do the Doctor Who hide the dates.
Yeah, no, I think Disney was like watching Doctor Who try to like hide the fact they did massive reshoots, and they're like, "Oh, we can't hide that on ours. We can't even try."
You know it's the most it's the most obvious.
Yeah, I know. There was this interview with the editor on Daredevil Born Again, and they were like, "Yeah, they told us not to look at the Netflix show, not to edit it like the Netflix show. Don't look at anything about the Netflix show." She's like, "What? What? How is this project just like so poorly done from the beginning? And the fact that they recovered it later is just a miracle."
That is so common. Like that whole like don't look at insert original thing here like in
Secret
Hollywood. I know.
Invasion.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
not
I
even
know.
Secret Invasion, but like other like adaptations. Like don't look at the original like insert like adaptation. Like it's so common. I
Grand
don't get
Inquisitor.
why.
Blade Raider have very beast machines of them. Yes, good example. All right, we briefly touched on this. Ninja Turtles 1990 is coming back to theaters on August 17th and 20th. It is also going to feature a segment called Turtles Unmasked, never before seen footage, director commentary, and behind the scenes from the movie. This is apparently stuff we've never seen before, which is interesting. It is listed as having showcasing before the movie will be exclusive, unseen, and extended scenes left to history on the cutting room floor. Don't know if that's the same as the deleted scenes from the German Blu-ray or they found something magically. And one-on-one with the director as he reflects his time on directing this movie. So there's going to be some good stuff. The Arrow video tease, which we all pretty much guessed is this movie at the very minimum, is probably like going to contain that as well. I imagine that's stuff they didn't just produce simply for a Fathom event, but I have seen stuff like that happen before. So if you want to see it, August 17th and 20th, at least in the US, I'm going to go see it on the 17th because I like going to the movies. And it'll be like my, I don't know, what is it, Fantastic Four, Bad Guys 2, Freakier Friday. It'll be my 4th consecutive week at theaters, so why not?
You can do one of those videos like you can be one of those videos where I watch movies for home like movies in the home like one of those like stupid like I spend like this many hours watching movies in the movie theater for this much.
Part of me
Like that.
wants to go see Smurfs just so I have an unbroken streak from June 22nd
I
to August 17th.
I watch every movie in June video.
Except F1. Oh, that's right. Shin Godzilla's re-releasing in August too. I don't know if I'm going to go see that. Hot take, I don't like Shin Godzilla. Anyway, hi Crossy Hossie.
The room's been this whole stream's on fire right now. It's pulling with all the hot things from
If anyone wants to know what I think of Shin Godzilla, go look what I ranked it on Letterboxd. I didn't write a review. I just put a rating on it. You'll learn everything you need to know. I'm becoming the Undertaker of movies. Is there anything else coming on July 18th? Please, somebody tell me, because I don't want to see Smurfs. All right. Ironheart starts airing tomorrow. This is my PSA because I think the show looks good. I hope this show is good. I hope I didn't hype it up and it's terrible. I think it looks good. All right. Anyways, Ironheart starts tomorrow with episodes 1 through 3, and then it finishes next Tuesday with episodes 4 through 6 because it's what we're doing now. Anyways, the episode titles are really fun. Like Take Me Home, Will the Real Natalie Please Stand Up, We in Danger Girl, Bad Magic, Karma's a Glitch, and The Past is the Past. And people were noticing that the M in Karma is highlighted red. Speculate away. We'll see how it
Girl,
happens.
I wish.
We're in Danger Girl is a fun title for an episode. I'm just gonna say that. Oh, it is entertainment news. Thank you. I totally just jumped and didn't even switch the tab. I'm looking forward to this show, and I'm excited to watch it tomorrow. So that's all I got. All right. Please stop saying mutant. I'm still traumatized from Miss Marvel. I know what it is. I know what it is because it leaked a long time ago. Like, I'm pretty confident what it is. I'm just not. Yeah, Mr. Dookie knows where I'm going with this. I'm just not going to say it because I don't want to jinx it. All right. Clayface has found its Clayface. So
like Spider-Man's great enemy. Is Mario Kart gonna fight the wall now?
yes, let's go with that. So the Clayface movie, which is going to be directed by James Watkins, original script by Mike Flanagan, rewrites by somebody. This is, oh yeah, Fonzie, the TMNT movie is going to be the 4K restoration. Yes. So we got our Clayface, and it is Tom Rice, who Doctor Who fans might remember for that episode with all the racist white people. He was like a celebrity on that planet. Anyways, he's going to be Clayface. That actor's good.
We need like a jar of every out of context setup moment at this point.
Just need Muteki to go back and clip the entire stream. I'm at that level where I'm like, I'm not tired, but my brain's just not wanting to put the effort in to remember what episode that was of Doctor Who. I just want to call it by what it is. Spindad's like, I remember when he died in that. Anyways, the interesting part about this movie is that I think it's the director said that like they're planning on like tackling like deep fakes and like generative AI's effect on actors.
Because this is
and that
in
just
the
sounds
Batman.
great. Like
this is in the Batman universe, right?
No, this is in some universe. They've never said.
Oh damn it! Because honestly, like would that premise that could work in the more realistic-y universe of
Ready
Matt
for my
Reeves'
hot
universe?
take? That's totally a cold take because if you spend enough time on the internet, and James Gunn even kind of half confirmed this, if Superman's a success, we're gonna get an announcement that Robert Pattinson's Batman is in James Gunn's universe. I just see it happening. I think they're just waiting for Superman to be successful.
Here's the thing. It's either I rather it's one of the things where it's like, especially with the Brandon Bull movie having like, I know it was like super far off, but like I think at that point, like just turn that movie into a Matt Reeves universe film.
There is no point in Andy Muschietti directing a Batman movie after The Flash. They just did that to be nice to him.
Well, it's more just like what's the point of having a separate Batman where like you already have a special Batman? Just give him a Robin. The whole point of that movie is to give him a Robin. Just get Just get Robert Pattinson a Robin.
And Robert Pattinson's old enough that it's going to be fine. Because the thing is, I think this is what they're trying to do, and I see it as clear as day. Okay, I see it as clear as day. They're not sure if Superman's going to be successful, right? If Superman is successful, roll in Robert Pattinson's Batman, all is well, keep moving forward. We got, 2/3 of a Trinity, right? If they announce now that Robert Pattinson's Batman is part of the Superman movie universe and Superman tanks, you've now killed Robert Pattinson's Batman already.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's it's weird because I guess the Gundam universe is so weird because it's not fully its own universe. I mean, it is, but like
it's still, a little haphazard because like it's got that Peacemaker season 1 and the Suicide Squad happened in this universe, but it was slightly different thing going on.
Yeah, there's some bleed over, plus similar same actors are returning to the same characters and stuff like that.
And like, some actors are returning to different characters, like Lobo.
Yeah, and like that's a good thing and a bad thing because it might be confusing, but like it's a good thing because like some movies that are very much super standalone-ish can easily still work. Like the Battison films are pretty much standalone. Blue Beetle, like those films are very standalone. They can easily just like
they can just slot them in, no problem.
Slot them in, a scenario like that. It's just one of those like, let's hope the general audience can understand all that scenario.
And I think they will, and I think it would be more confusing if there was 2 separate Batmans. And I think that I think that's what we're waiting on. I think if because what they don't want to have happen is that they had success with Robert Pattinson's Batman, and they don't want to kill that success by folding him into a universe that doesn't take off. They want to make sure that rocket launches, right? Superman's successful. All right, guess what? Robert Pattinson's also in this universe, and they just kind of keep going. I think that would be really smart, and I think it's smart to wait until that happens. And I think the Clayface movie, that's why it's sitting in limbo into what universe it's in, because they don't want to say it's in the Pattinson universe or the Gunn universe, because those might be the same universe in about a month. But it all depends on how that box office goes. Box office and reception. I think even if Superman's financially successful, people hate it. Like that's also like a side to not roll it together, right? It's going to be all dependent on how that movie's received.
Yeah, they don't want another Snyder cult again, pretty much.
Yeah, they don't want to have the DCEU was kind of that problem. It's like because people liked this character, they didn't like this character, and then that kind of just fractured the whole thing. I think it's smart to wait. I think it's smart to wait.
Created crazy people online.
Yes. I've got I don't know, hot take, whatever. Chat's on fire. The Gunn fans are just as bad. I have been seeing like some very aggressive James Gunn fans that are acting just as bad as the Snyder Cult fans, and they just keep yelling at each other all the time, and then people get caught in the middle of it. And I'm just like, people chill the hell out. It's just movies.
Yeah, that's like I feel like like Gunn, like they're both pretty crazy, but I just feel like I think people like highlight.
I have seen content creators get harassed by Gunn fans for criticizing anything James Gunn does, in the same way that I saw it with the Snyder fans. Yeah. The extremes on both fandoms are just as bad in my eyes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like that's where I'm at. All right. I got more news. I thought I loaded them all up, but I didn't. Kaiju number 8, season 2. We've got details, considering it's airing in like 3 weeks.
But yeah. It's weird because not the start of the summer season. It's like middle of the summer season, which is weird.
It's really crazy. So basically, we're getting confirmation that the Hoshina's Day Off special that aired with the compilation movie will be airing on TV July 5th. So everyone that didn't get to see the compilation movie, they're going to air the special episode then.
So it's practically like episode 0 of season 2, practically then.
Practically, yeah. Which is great. And then the rest of the season will start airing July 19th. It'll probably be another 12-episode season, though some sources have said it's only going to be 11 episodes. We do have new cast members for Eiji Hasegawa and Rin Shinonome, who are joining the cast. Singer-songwriter Aurora is performing the new theme song, which is in the new promotional video. And then we got this new poster. And Kaiju number 8, the manga, is ending in, I think, 2 weeks. So I think it's going to be interesting. The manga is going to end right before season 2 airs. So
I mean, that's yeah. Oh god, the last chapter was so good.
It was.
I love that a lot.
I love that the last chapter was also like 35 pages. When they said they had 2 chapters left, I was like, that's not enough time. But then they're like, no, 35 pages. I'm like, oh, the next one's gonna be like 50?
I hope because like I really hope that's the case because I need a really good. Danny's really good so far, but like I need that really really good finale.
Yeah,
pretty much there.
Like I feel like we got the battle stuff wrapped up, and now we need to do the character stuff. And I'm hoping it's just a big old thick final chapter. But anyways, yeah, that's what's going to be season 2's coming up, which is exciting. And I got my parents hooked on it by taking them to the compilation movie. So weekly family viewing. Hey, Kaus.
Yeah.
Your guy's going to be in your Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, you were telling me.
Welcome,
I was
AR.
like, what?
Yeah, John Barenthal has joined the cast of Spider-Man Brand New Day as the Punisher.
Well, the way you did it too is like, hey, I got some cast news, and I'm like, what do I care about cast? Like, you're gonna care about this. I'm like, all right, John Barenthal. And I was like, oh, you're right.
Oh man, I can't wait for Spidey and Punisher to like be super cake up and beat up a bunch of Dougs on the street. And
they re-release the beat 'em up game. They just swap out Nick Fury for Spider-Man. Yeah, so this was actually kind of cool. So there's been a lot of like back and forth. Is the Spider-Man movie going to be street level? Is it going to be multiverse? You don't do multiverse stuff and bring Punisher in. It's going to be a street level movie, and I'm all here for it.
Exactly, that's what I want. Exactly.
Yep. Common Jojo said, "What about Daredevil?" I feel like that announcement is imminent. I do know that it's not going to have Kingpin because Vincent D'Onofrio said there is a legal snag with Kingpin.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know about that.
So basically, the issue with Kingpin is because he's a Spider-Man character. and he's a Daredevil character. Marvel owns part of his rights. Sony owns part of his rights when it comes to movies. Marvel owns all of his rights for TV.
Oh, is that why they were able to use him for Spider-Verse?
Yes, because that was animation, so that didn't. So it's like it wasn't because for Spider-Verse, because he's a Spider-Man villain, he could be in Spider-Verse, but as long as it was animated. If it was live action, that's where the rights issue splits up because of it goes all the way back to Fox's deal for Daredevil back in the day, which then defaulted to Marvel prior to Marvel buying Fox.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Now, that could all be a thing that, like, you know, then again, Punisher is a character owned by Marvel for film rights, and this is in a Sony Spider-Man movie. So that doesn't mean that it's impossible, but D'Onofrio's put like a little bit of a damper on it by explaining.
Because technically, Daredevil was a Spider-Man character first. He first appeared in a Spider-Man comic.
Spider-Man 129, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
but
like, I'm curious.
Officially speaking, his cover date for Daredevil #1 predates it by I think a month, and so they've been using that legal loophole for years.
Oh, is it like
Okay. That's what I was thinking.
Is it like a what's another example like that where?
But Punisher did debut as a Spider-Man character. That's right. I just remembered. I got my wires crossed. Punisher did debut in Spider-Man. Yes. Not Daredevil. I was thinking of Daredevil, but yeah, Punisher.
No, isn't that what's the Transformers character that was like that? What's Electro Break from Marvel?
Circuit Breaker.
Circuit Breaker. Where was it? She's a Transformer character, but she's owned by Marvel because she first appeared in another book, right?
Yep. Because she appeared in another Marvel comic, so she's a Marvel-owned character. Similar thing with Death said. Chris All Thoughts at Midnight. Kingpin did appear in Hawkeye, but that was a TV show, so it's fine.
Yeah,
it's the live-action movies. And Blade Runner, the reason why Daredevil was only in the Spider-Man movie was because they had a contract with Netflix that Netflix owned the rights to the characters 5 years after it was like a 5-year contract, and so they only got Charlie Cox. Like, I think the contract expired and they had him on set like the next day. And it was
like
really
very
late in the
last
production.
minute?
Very
Yeah,
last
wasn't
minute.
almost last.
That's why he only had one scene, because they got him in at like some of the last filming they did for that movie was him. Because they had to wait for the Netflix contract to expire before they could do it. So, but this is great. And I'm really excited, and it opens up the possibilities for a lot of things that can happen in this movie.
I would say if Daredevil's also in this movie, then this film is just Spider-Man. It's amazing, friends.
Yes. No, I think it'd be really fun. It would be nice though if we could not to like, I don't know, dovetail the Daredevil show too much, but like I kind of feel like maybe what if Daredevil season 2 just like leads us right into this movie and Kingpin is the villain and we have Spider-Man involved, and it's like that's how we get our Spider-Man fighting the Kingpin.
Really neat
through that.
We really need some street level. We've been missing that for so long with the current MCU. So we're missing some street level stuff. I mean, we could like from what I hear with Ironheart, we could have that, but also it could easily with that M, it could easily be.
Well, we do know there's magic involved because of the Hood, but
yeah, so
the Hood's one of those street level magic guys. So
yeah, but like I'll never forgive Miss Marvel for being a end of the world plot. Fucking freaking show.
Yep. Mr. Doogie says, does this make it more or less likely that Sadie Sink is a normal MCU character like Jean Grey or Firestar? I think Sadie Sink is probably playing some random nobody we have no idea who they are. She's going to be like Coffee Shop Girl or something. Like I feel like if they were going to make a big deal out of it, they would have by now.
Makes me so upset that Sydney Moon is just a normal girl in this universe. Shakes fist.
There's also a bunch of rumors that Hulk's going to be in this movie, and if it's not Joe Fixit, I'm not interested.
Real?
But think about it. Joe Fixit, though. Right? That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would.
Now, I don't know why. Now I just want it. I don't want Hulk to be in the film, but more like the Stan Lee cameo in Amazing Spider-Man 1. You just get Punisher. You get Hulk in like patches for some reason in a poker match, and Spidey, Daredevil, and Punisher fighting off goons in the background or something like that.
That would be fun. You know, also, I was going to say, I just remember this movie's going to be directed by Daniel Destin Cretton, so it's going to be fun seeing Frank do stuff where the camera can actually follow
it. no shaky cams or anything.
No shaky cams.
So you're saying this will literally become the Punisher arcade game at the end of the movie?
Hopefully, I hope so. That means
John
Kingpin's
Barrowman,
in it, and randomly Pretty Boy will show up, and then be like, "Wait, why is an X-Men villain here?"
And Bone, what's his name? Bone Crusher or something? What's his name? The tank dude.
Bone Breaker.
Bone Breaker.
Yeah, the Reavers just show up, and everyone's like, "But we don't have X-Men yet. What are you doing here?"
And they make John Barrowman extra cake up for some reason.
I mean, he can just do that on his own. Anyways, I think that's it for entertainment news. I'm excited about this because this is like we've been getting casting announcements, but it's been kind of like, and I'm like,
Because I
oh,
confirmed Ned.
Barenthal.
I also confirmed Ned and MJ coming back, which all I want is
Fork
please don't
Fountain
redo.
Kitchen.
Yeah, but there's like one that's like, please don't undo the ending of No Way Home, please. That's all I want.
I have a weird feeling they're not going to undo it, but maybe like what could be kind of
I
fun is if like he becomes friends with them again in a different context.
Yeah, I don't mind them becoming friends again, but just don't make it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we have our memories back all of a sudden. Like, don't do that, please.
Exactly. It would also be nice if he wasn't dating Zendaya because I think I love Zendaya, but she keeps ending up in girlfriend roles in like everything.
I know.
Even in
I know,
Challenger, she was in like a girlfriend role.
I would say, like, my only, I guess, the fear is if there is a black suit in this movie, I hope it's not Rush or anything like that.
If he gets a black suit and then like his mentor, because he's had like a mentor character in each of the movies, right? It's like, oh, I'm working with Iron Man, I'm working with Nick Fury, I'm working with Doctor Strange, I'm working with Punisher, and I got a black cock. Like this movie could be kind of insane. Like Punisher's just like, yeah, we should kill him. He's like, yeah, we should.
Wait, is it just that meme of like, oh, yeah, was that just the meme of I think we had to kill this guy, Spider-Man? Oh man.
Except it would be him wearing the black suit,
Want
and being
him
like,
to fight.
yeah, let's do it.
I wanted to fight a Shocker and yell that he's gonna chase him.
Yes, that'd be fun.
No, there was a shock. There was a shock.
We do have, yeah, we could get Shocker out of prison. Here's another fun part.
Exactly.
Someone said this, I thought it was great. They're like, could it be funny if like Scorpion shows up and then like Frank makes his debut and he just shoots Scorpion in the head and be like, yeah, what about it?
Yeah, you already have a Disney Plus. You already have Arkin Friendly Neighborhood.
Exactly.
So
Like, we don't need you in this movie.
You're at your time of shine.
It is going to be very interesting to go from Punisher and Born Again, where he's like putting axes into dirty cops' throats, to his own TV special where he's got to break out of like a place, to then this where he's going to have to not kill as many people. So it's going to be really funny, but great at the same time. Excited. All right, cool. You guys ready for toy news?
Yep.
Cool. I have like the most exciting, happy toy news possible to start off the stream. Hasbro's
Wheels.
doing more layoffs. I summoned
from
Wheels with
Hasbro
layoffs.
You know what? Now I'm gonna tag him in.
Yep. So Hasbro is laying off 3% of its global workforce among a cost-cutting effect due to the tariffs. And I will tell you that is pretty much a corporate excuse to just cut jobs. And interesting breaking news at the top there. Anyways, sorry, got distracted. They're going to cut 150 employees, which they currently have 4,985 employees globally. So that's bringing them down to 4,835. And they're saying they're aligning our structure with our long-term goals. Do you have long-term goals, Hasbro? Because you're also not good at the quality control thing lately. JF fans know what we're talking about, right? It's been a little rough out there. This sucks. This is dumb. I don't know how much money they're going to save by firing 150 people. All it's going to do is make their already overtaxed company more overtaxed, because clearly, based on the fact of the next story, they don't know what they're doing over there. So
the thing is, it's just unlike Super 7 or other indie, like they're not indie. The reason why a lot of these indie indie companies had to do layoffs or had to shut down because of tariffs, because they're small.
Yep.
Like that tariff.
Super 7 had like less than 50 employees. Hasbro has, like we said, 4,900 something.
Yeah, they could take the hit.
Yeah.
Unlike an independent toy company like Super 7 or like Hit Monkeys or something like that, because they a lot of time with the independent stuff, they're paying out of their pocket.
Yep.
Half the time for those toys. This Hasbro, like, they could take the hit.
As Blade Raider said, they were doing this before. Now they're just taking advantage, like corporations always do. Exactly. And Toma said as well, they probably won't lay off any of the executives. Nope. Because the thing is, the executives could take like 10% pay cut, and you'd save more money than any firing would do, and your company wouldn't be falling apart. Peacemaker said they have a long-term goal: staying open for as long as possible, any means necessary. With a colon, as long as the executives still can afford their yachts, right? Like
what's the line for Water News from Monsters Inc? What's the line? It's like
I'll kill 1,000 children before I let this company die.
Die. Yeah.
I don't know if that's his line, but that's what I always got the vibe off of it.
Yeah.
Hey, guys,
Yeah.
due to tariffs, we're gonna have to let some people go. So, Ryan, I'm sorry.
We don't
But
even
also,
pay
hey,
him.
Ryan. Yeah, I know, that's true. But also, Ryan, there's a new position open. So, would you like the position? Oh,
Did
Oh, did
oh,
he
Ryan
leave?
just dropped.
did he? I was. Oh, that was funny. I was gonna make the joke. Ryan, there's a new position, so you're also hired.
The bus was full. I couldn't get on the bus, so I came back.
He tried to escape.
Yeah, no,
He tried to take his chance to leave.
yeah, no, I wanted to make the joke. I just wanted to make the joke of the joke because I was like, Ryan. But now, hey, there's now a position open. Like, just make the joke. That's what it feels like with these tariffs, because some of these people have already, like, some people from, like, the last firing got brought back only to get, like, refired, so it's kind of weird. I don't get this.
It's the usual corporate, oh, we fired these people to save money. Oh, wait, we
Here's a
needed those
question.
people.
Here's a question. Did they let go of that hot chick that was working on Transformers and Power Rangers at one point?
I don't think
No.
they don't. I mean, they never say who they fired. They just said they fired people.
They did not
it.
actually
'cause-
fire her. She just stopped appearing on live streams because people were very uncomfortable and creepy in the chat.
Yeah, no, 'cause I was
so
trying-
Hasbro,
I was
so
trying to
Hasbro chat, so
Yes.
Hasbro
Well, I was
chat.
trying to figure
Because the
out- I was
Hasbro
trying to-
chat, like, they wouldn't just like compliment her on her looking good that day. They would just say much creepier, unsettling things, and she said, "I don't want to be on live streams anymore."
So this is the same people that like call like Emily and the other women during the Pink Ranger
Mhm.
Fan First Friday stream of Power Rangers like disgusting things. Like, are you
Yes.
surprised? Are you surprised that they were
No, I
awful
wonder-
to
'cause, like,
women?
I was
All
trying-
right, guys,
I was trying to
AR has like the
figure
best
out-
comment. Oh man, I just got cut by the Soundout12 crew. Hey, wait, I didn't even work for you guys.
Wait, what? Oh, who said that?
AR.
AR in the chat.
Oh, I was about
No,
to say.
it's-
I thought you said Spin Dash. No, because the reason I just mentioned her was just because I was trying to figure out which toy she designed for Transformers.
Yeah,
She was just a marketing
I think
lady.
she was just marketing. I don't think she was
okay.
a designer. I think she was
Okay.
marketing. What's her name?
No,
Okay,
Loretta?
they labeled her a designer.
Yeah, Loretta. Yeah, it reminds me
Loretta.
of the
Loretta, if you're out there, we appreciate you, and we're sorry that the toy community was creepy and gross.
reminds me of
Yeah.
the
I
what
just
AR
said you were
reminds
hot.
me-
I didn't go any further.
You were
the
respectful.
what
Yeah.
AR said reminds me of the moment of SpongeBob. Like, Patrick, we like to work for the crazy guy. Oh boy, do you what? You're fired. I just got hired.
Yep. Yeah, Toba said
I-
when they rehire them, they get the workers on lower pay and less benefits, and that's why
Yep.
they do it.
I mean,
Because
what-
as we
what do
say, all together now, all corporations are
Corporations are
evil.
evil. I'll never forget.
Still need
I'll
that on
never
a
forget.
T-shirt. Anyway,
I'll never forget when they just fired a bunch of people before Christmas. I'll never forget that.
That was one of the fun. That one
The
was one of the funniest ones because I think that was
headline:
John Warden
biggest toy
too.
company in the world fires 400 people before Christmas was just like the most
It's-
insanely evil thing I've seen Hasbro
It
do.
was it was literally the National Lampoon Christmas Vacation
Yes.
moment, pretty much.
It was like the
Like-
first time Hasbro just dropped the facade and stopped caring about public image.
I'll never forget because that happened during on stream. We were gonna
Yes.
talk about tidal wave and all the joke. It was not happen.
And I was just like, this is so ridiculous. I'm
and
not even gonna
John-
talk about their stuff. Yeah.
And remember, John Warden was a part of it, and then like allegedly John
Well, that
Warden's
was
wife
later.
was like dealing with. Oh, okay.
But that was later.
John
That was
Warden got
after Christmas.
reshuffled because they fired other people that were in charge of other brands.
Then
and
they
had to move
kick
around.
him-
And
then
then
they
they
kick him
fired
out.
him because they were like, we don't care about knowledge or experience. We care about our fourth yacht or whatever. Yeah.
I want a
Mr.
fourth
Mr.
yacht.
Dookie said, this happened to my old boss. We went 3 months with no manager. Now she's back for less. Meanwhile, I'm job hunting again. Yeah. These companies suck, all right? It's so stupid. Crest
no,
all
I
thoughts
think I'm gonna
midnight.
be the
Come on, guys. The starving CEO needs a multi-million-dollar bonus for doing the layoffs. It's the funniest things. They keep trying to replace, like, regular working people's jobs with AI, when, honestly, an AI could run a CEO's job, because they don't do anything but make random decisions.
Algae rhythm.
Exactly.
Yep.
Space
Yep,
Jam: A New
I made that
Legacy
joke.
is such a weird movie.
What was
What about Gundam
what-
Legacy Extreme?
Space Jam: A New Legacy. What do you think I was talking?
Oh, sorry.
Ah.
I said Gundam Legacy Extreme is weird.
What was-
Yeah,
What did he
what-
do?
What was the thing with Mattel with AI recently?
They
Was it,
signed a
like-
deal with OpenAI, and I didn't report on it because they didn't go into specifics on how they were using it. Because I, as much as I'm like AI adversed in a lot of things, like there was times like like what is it like Spider-Verse used AI for its like
The motion, the motion, the line outlines and stuff like that. Like
yeah,
help keep
and then
track.
like there was a Final Fantasy game that had an AI program match the lip flaps to all the dubbed languages. Like,
Yeah, like that's
yeah,
usually the tool, but I guess what it just when
like
Mattel using
OpenAI
AI,
is an obviously like giant evil corporation. They just got a government contract. But I don't know in what capacity Mattel's using it, so I don't want to criticize it until we see like what they do with it, because for all we
Like
know,
those
it's like,
Power Rangers songs, or
yeah,
was it
like,
Playmates or whatever.
because like the thing is, yeah, because like AI programs can be good as a tool, like, you know, upscalers, right? Like, you know, the Power Rangers AI upscale thing on YouTube, that looks pretty decent. I honestly couldn't tell the difference at first, but
yeah,
whatever.
is there a difference? I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell. Because it's just there's not much data to work with to begin with. Falcon said the most obvious
It's
thing is
funny
going to
how
happen is a Barbie chatbot. That's the thing, is like, is it going to be something like, here's a chatbot, or is it going to be like something like, we're not having packaging designers anymore, we have the AI doing it for us? Like, I don't know until they
Well,
actually
well,
do it.
okay. Hold up. Some group recently, I don't know if it was Mattel with that weird kaiju and the giant monkey line, was
was
using
that?
AI.
Yeah, I think that
The
was.
what?
I don't think there was a kaiju toy line using AI art. I think
Okay.
AI art or something like that. I don't know. I don't think it was any of the big. I don't think it's either A in I think it's like one of those like you find at Walmart toys. I want to say
Yeah.
maybe. I'm
Okay,
not
I
I
sure.
wasn't
don't
sure because
ever
someone
go
said
to,
it
I
was a
go to Walmart
Mattel.
once a year.
I need a. I'll look
Ever
more
since
into
the
that.
beheading accident, I don't want to go to Walmart, guys.
Oh yeah, well,
Is that your M? Is
That's
that
my
that's
4M
before.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, the thing is yeah, so that's the thing with Mattel, is like I didn't want to like do like a whole like report on it, because they didn't go into details about like how it was being used, what they're using it for. We'll find out eventually, and then at that point we can, like, you know, we can critique and criticize based on how they use it, right? You know, because it's one of those things where it's like, you know, a lot of people like use this like, oh, AI is here to stay and you just have to live with it. And it's like, in some ways it's like, yeah, it's obviously not going away anytime soon. It's just going to be like, how is it used? Because there are good, you know, there are good uses of it. Not my dentist office making the hygienist use the AI program to tell them what kind of surgery they should recommend on teeth. That sucks.
oh,
Don't like
that
that.
that that sounds like a horror movie right
It
there. Like
is, yes. They
the dentistry.
my aunt was a dental hygienist, and she retired recently because the program kept telling her to do root canals on everybody.
Yeah.
Wait,
I did like the only time where I remember they might have used AI where Mattel was, I think it was Snake Mountain, Origin Snake Mountain, where one of the stickers looked really horrible. Like it looked like AI generated
I think people were
fuzziness.
like, "Is this AI generated?" I think someone did the digital research and figured out it was the original sticker. They didn't have a good quality of it, so they used an AI upscaler, and that's why it got
It looked
blobby.
horrible. It
Yeah, it
looked
looked
horrible.
terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, you know, like it all depends. All depends on application for me personally. You know, obviously, I don't like, you know, generative AI images being used in place of like hiring an artist, because
And I
I
think
want
that's I
someone to
think that's
hire an
the
artist.
I think that's the biggest thing with
Yeah,
toy companies hiring doing AI is like I feel like because toy design you need artists are I think some people don't realize that
yeah,
artists are hired for toy companies because well you need like because a toy and like houses like anything like you usually have an artist sketch up sketch up what the toy is
mhm.
supposed to look like or how like the engineering because you need plans oh this is how we're gonna design this articulation or this is how we're gonna design the transformation
Well,
you
because
need
you have to like
artists to do
design the
that.
figure, then design the engineering, then design the packaging, design the, you know, there's so many steps to it. You know, you can.
Mhm.
I don't think you could AI generate a toy, like, at least
Yeah.
currently. You know, um,
Well, like yeah,
Pacemaker had a
because
good example. Generative AI helping to ID cancer cells. Yeah, that's an AI program doing good. You
I
know.
can't wait. I can't wait for a toy to have 6 fingers. Oh boy.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that like, you know,
What?
that's
Original Electabuzz is back?
oh, God. But that's the thing, is that, you know, it all depends on application. All depends on application. But yeah, you know, Mr. Duki says, I keep hearing that people in my industry using AI to speed up research, but the problem, the AI just lies about the results sometimes. Yeah, that's the kind of thing, is like, you know, sometimes it can be helpful. Like you know, if the AI program is specifically like like say you have like a huge data sheet, right? And the AI program can go through and automatically find all the things for a category. Great. Is the AI drawing its own conclusions from the research? Probably not a good thing. You know, it just, it depends. And you know, a lot of the corporations are like pushing it on us so quickly, then there's no regulation for it because the government sucks at regulating anything that's actually important and helpful. So you know, we're kind of like,
I mean, our leaders is trying to cause war right now. So are you
I mean,
surprised?
yeah, exactly. But the point being is that there's a lot of stuff that needs to be worked through it. It's similar to any developing technology. Like, you know, you look back at like Y2K, we had a whole scare around computers shutting down and ruining the planet. You know, it just depends on how it works. Later, I totally agree. Where I'm at right now is protecting human rights, and we can talk about actual uses for AI. I totally agree as well. It's getting crazy. Yeah, the Google AI thing is freaking me out a little bit. And Crossios is mentioning the Mr. Beast AI thumbnail controversy from over the weekend, which is that basically he's trying to promote a service that for $80 a month, an AI program will make YouTube thumbnails for you. That's sucks because I know several thumbnail artists that will go cheaper than that.
Hi.
Exactly.
Hi.
Hello.
They're all over
literally
here.
me and Ryan shaking hands. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Wheels.
Oh,
Wait,
you'll
what?
Hello,
see.
Soundout.
Wait, since when do you make
Hello,
thumbnails?
Jerry.
I
Sorry
mean,
for the site.
Wheels makes thumbnails for the interviews. I don't do it anymore. I told him he has to do it.
Okay.
I was like, I'll edit the videos, but you gotta do the thumbnails. You know, the thumbnail I made for the stream, I'll pop it up.
I made a
That
template.
thumbnail was a template Ryan made, and then I just, you know, fill the images in. It doesn't take that long. Yeah, it's one of those things. I think, yeah, a regulation is a big thing, I think, for it as well. I think that's kind of like, that's where I said, I'm like, you know, it's the thing is, like, I think, and I don't blame anybody for being like, I hate anything AI. So totally, you know, I get it. But I'm also like making sure that like when I'm reporting on it and talking about it, I want to come from like an informed, you know, place. And it's like I got to see what Mattel does with that because they may do nothing with it too. They may sign a deal and do nothing with it.
It's like because I think right now with AI coverage, it's getting a little too clickbaity when it comes to
Yes.
once you mention because when you mention AI, we're going like there was a recent controversy of people misinterpreting what Sakurai said recently
Yep.
of like headlines were like, "Hey, Sakurai talks about generative AI, how it helps developers," which is a horrible mistranslation of he does not like AI and he's thinking developers are using it for laziness. And but so many articles like worded horribly and
Yep.
such like bad
Because they know that just saying generative AI will get rage bait clicks. And yeah, and so it you know, it depends. And the thing is too is like people have talked about like, you know, AI that's replicating people, and it's like, you know, I've been looking at, you know, there's some celebrities that have done some stuff, and
Let's not talk about. Do you want to talk about the Fortnite Darth Vader?
the
Stuff?
Fortnite Darth Vader was a giant. Even if it was a voice actor doing it in real time, letting the internet feed Darth Vader things to say was a horrible idea, and I don't know how anyone thought it was a good idea. You know,
Like yeah, like even though he signed off on it, I don't
Yeah.
think he approves of the things his voice is saying.
Exactly. And so like the thing is too is that like, you know, it does. I think a lot of AI is like regulation and consent, right? There
I think
was
voice actors have strikes over it.
exactly. Like there was this thing. British singer Robbie Williams is doing a tour right now, and it's like an anniversary tour of his like solo career. And so as part of his show, he has like 2 AI deep faked versions of himself appear on a screen that he talks to. Like one's him when he was 15, one's him when he would be 80. And I'm like, that's totally fine because it's his likeness and it's his choice to do that, you know. And it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. But then it's like with the James Earl Jones thing, it's like he died before any of this technology has reached this point of development. And it's like, yeah, he signed off on it, but his idea, because the way that the quote-unquote AI voice system at Lucasfilm worked was not that it was generating his voice. It was pulling clips from the archive library of everything he'd ever recorded. And they would pull clips the program essentially was assembling sentences from everything he ever said to get his voice together.
Pretty much Frankenstein audio together practically.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly kind of cool. If the actor's cool with it, cool. That's a good way to use it. But it wasn't generating it, like auto-generating, like an auto-dubbing program, which is what the Fortnite thing did. And that's just that's how it goes. You know, I think it's, you know, it always depends on consent. I think anytime you do it with people who are dead, I'm just like, I'm not okay with it. Something like how they did it in, you know, like Ghostbusters or Star Wars, where it was like a VFX artist did it. I'm like, I'm a little bit more okay with it. but like just we pushed a button and now this robot talks like Elvis. It's like maybe not.
Wait, when did Ghostbusters do? When did Ghostbusters do it?
Harold Ramis in Afterlife.
I thought that was really good CG.
It was
Or was
VFX. That's what I mean. It's VFX CG. Like it was a deep fake
Yeah.
CG that was done by VFX artists. It wasn't done with a generative AI.
Yeah.
So that's just what the thing is. And so it's just I think also like the temptation is very much to like we can have this person do this. And I'm like, let's just not. Even if it's done, there's like even if it's done for comedy or whatever, I'm just like, let's just stop resurrecting dead people. Let's just move on.
It's
I
really
want to resurrect
disrespectful and
dead
gross.
people right now.
Yeah, because you can't resurrect dead people; they're gone. Move on. Tupac hologram at Coachella, like
we will bring them back.
again,
It's stuff like
it's
I
stuff
think
like that where
this
it's
is
like
why-
it's fine. It's just could we not? Like
it's stuff like that where it's like I really wish Star Wars would just stick as an animated series because like
Yeah.
seeing like Grandma Tarkin come back in animated form, that's fine. Seeing him brought back in weird CG live action is weird.
He was only in Rogue One for like 5 minutes, so it's like
yeah.
And it's the
Yeah,
same thing
no,
with Luke Skywalker. I didn't mind Luke Skywalker being like the deep fake thing when it was the Mandalorian episode where he showed up for like one scene, but then when they did an entire episode with him in Book of Boba Fett, it didn't work because it lost its natural touch.
But I think for the Luke thing, I think it's worse for me because
Yeah.
the actor they got literally looks like Mark Hamill,
Mhm.
young Mark Hamill. So it's like
When it was
probably wasting
one
money.
scene, I was like, that's fine. An entire episode, I was like, this did not work for an entire episode. It's like you said, a waste of money. It's insanely expensive, and it's like just let the actor act. You can recast. Recasts work all the time. What's one of people's favorite characters from Andor? Mon Mothma. That's a recast. Obi-Wan Kenobi is a recast. Like,
I mean, even his voice doesn't sound like Mark. It's called dubbing.
yeah. And so, anyways, you guys want to talk about the other toy news? It's not corporations and stuff. Blader said just hire an impersonator. Actors used to make careers off of that. Yeah, you can get. It's not hard to replicate Mark Hamill's voice. Look at Troy Breaker's whole career as Joker.
Patrick Warburton had a whole career just doing one voice.
Yep.
Guys, don't forget. If you want to replace Richard Pryor, just hire Dave Coulier.
Yeah. Mr. Tanuki said, I'm glad they slowed down on hologram performances. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that trend. I think the hologram performances, it's like one thing if it's like an image on a screen. When you start like hologramming people, it's like, now that got weird, Unless it's Hatsune Miku. That's allowed.
You know what I'm saying?
All
Are
right.
you talking about Hatsune?
And you got to put her in a box. If you don't put her in a box, what are you doing? Put her in a box. Keep her in the box.
Speaking of
Keep
in
her
the
in the
box,
box.
if you've been wanting to
Sure you do one
pre-order
of those.
Transformers Studio Series Voyager Mixmaster, well, if you're in Quebec, you might be able to buy it at Walmart.
I love these random countries that appear out of nowhere. These places, like it's found.
I mean, it's
like
Canada.
Like
Quebec's a place in Canada, but
I know, but it feels like it's like Indiana Jones adventure. You just have to ride the line going to Quebec.
also apparently the person said they also saw Thundercracker from War for Cybertron as part of this.
Oh,
So-
yeah, because I think he's he's the waymate for
Yeah.
him. I'm pretty sure.
So this will probably get officially revealed tomorrow, and Hasbro will pretend like we haven't already seen this from Takara, and now somebody in Canada. But
It
Yeah.
sounds like sounds like Scott like somewhere in Toronto,
California?
Canada.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Toronto,
Canada.
Quebec, Canada.
somewhere in Quebec, Canada, there is a Mixmaster. The thing I find funny too is because my Commander 2-pack of the Constructicons stocked at Big Bad Toy Store, I have 4 of the Constructicons. I've paid for 4 of the Constructicons, and I can't buy the last 2. Till tomorrow or something.
No. Do you know what I did when I found out all of them stocked yesterday or whatever, with the exception of the one that was already here? I was like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just ship the first limb that was supposed to come out
Mm.
when my other limb came out, and I'll get the Commander like next month, because I was like, no. I had to ship a few things, and I was like, I'm not shipping everything in a big box. I'm not crazy like you.
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm
doing
waiting
that.
on my crypto plush to stock so I can ship my pile of loot. Be fun.
You
Yeah,
want
because what happened for me was my
wait for the
hatchet
doll.
ship.
Yeah.
My hatchet was like get ready to ship, so I just took a bunch of the core class figure that finally stocked for me that I was missing,
Mhm.
like the cassettes. I'm still missing the blue one, but
Yeah. Common Jojo says if they do a complete set of Devastator in the future, they probably will, and it'll probably be toy colors.
I will.
It'll probably be toy colors because they did that with Minosaur. They did the show colors as the retail set, and then
I just hate
the
that the
box
Men-
set was toy set. those toy colors.
I just hate that Menasor came out like right as my parts were shipping, so it was
Yeah.
like, what the hell?
I'll tell you, man. I was like, maybe I'll just see only Bruticus, but man, Energon Universe is like, man, I might want to get the combiners. Like,
I love
didn't care.
combiners.
I didn't care for the area bots before. Then like Darren Warren Johnson showed the most wholesome image ever with the area bots. Like, no, I care for them now. Versus, like,
I know. I remember Slingshot's name now.
it's like I know. He's like, no, damn it, I didn't want them, but now like you give me this wholesome image of Optimus hugging all of them.
that's-
Like,
It's the time that
that's my problem,
synergy's
right?
working in their favor, isn't it?
it's like, damn it.
I really like don't want to get. I'm literally trying hard not to get the aerial bots, just because like I spent money to get the Unite Warriors, set, so I'm like I don't want to get. I don't want to get again.
But I really like the two we got that I already forgot the names of.
Firefly. It was like Firefly and
Air
was it
Raid?
Slingshot, I think? Air Raid. Yeah, it was Air
Yeah,
Raid.
because it's Slingshot and the other one. I don't remember. Anyways, I think they're cool. If you like Menasor, you'll like Superion. Also, I have a Unite Warriors Devastator. I'm still buying the Studio Series, so if anyone's got the problem, it's me.
I mean, he's just gonna be on a better figure than
Yeah.
in the Combiner Wars one. Okay,
All right.
I mean, you're gonna do a video on it, right?
Yeah, I'll do a comparison between the Unite Warriors and the Studio Series. It won't be like a full breakdown review so much as just like a comparison video. Because I think that's more interesting for my channel. Gargantos, the artist formerly known as Shuma Gorath, went up for pre-order, and we had talked about what was his price going to be, and the answer was $70, which honestly came in low.
Not bad.
I thought it was going to be like 80. I was like, 70 is not bad. He's pretty huge.
Now the Juggernaut. Now Juggernaut. That's the big question right now.
Supposedly he's going to be 65.
That's cheap. Like,
yeah.
That's gonna be the case.
That means he's only $5 more than a 2-pack.
He's more. He's $5 more than just Maxima Hulk.
It's $5 more than Big Ass Venom.
Yeah.
Compared to regular Venom.
Yeah. Yeah, regular Venom's in a 2-pack and he's like 30. But but yeah, Big Ass Venom was 60. All right.
How tall is Marco?
You blame Tony Todd for that.
Yes, always.
How big is the Juggernaut? Did he say how big the Juggernaut is?
No, I think there's a picture comparing them. I'll look it up in a moment. Mega Man Wave 3, which is Mega Man without the helmet, Bubble Man, and Woodman, goes up for pre-order tomorrow at noon for Jada Toys.
Can't wait. I said they picked the second wave. I haven't picked. I think they're still available, thankfully, in most places. So
I still haven't been able to get Fireman.
Think he should be still available in some retailers?
Yeah, some retailers. It's just that now people are like increasing the price on them to like $30 or $25.
Because they're 20. They're originally 20. Their
Yeah.
default price was 20. Then if the regular Street Fighter got bumped up to 30 because they were 25, I think Mega Man's going to bump up to 25 maybe.
Yeah.
I'm curious because
some places do sell them higher though, just because different.
Yeah, because like I was hoping to get it for on sale because I got like all of them on sale at one point, and I was like, damn, I missed out.
I'm curious what the price of Woodman, Bubbleman are because the pictures, the boxes
they're supposed
bigger.
to be bigger. Yeah, they're like deluxe size. Because I think like was it Sagat and Blanca were like $5 more.
They're deluxe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're deluxe figures. So I'm curious if Bubbleman and Woodman are deluxe figures also. Then.
SHF Jason said, okay, but when Proto Man? I think he's in like wave 4 or 5.
Wave 4.
Yeah,
wave 4.
Yeah, that's why I'm mad. Like I'm kind of mad that like two of my least favorite Robot Masters are the next wave. I wanted more of my favorite ones.
They said they did it just so there'd be variety in sizes of figures, which I think is neat. I'm personally, I have Mega Man, I want Proto Man, I want Roll, and I want Dr. Wily. I think that's like my wish
I want
list.
Rush.
Oh yeah, I want
I'll do
Rush.
Rush. Yeah.
I would
Maybe,
get.
I want some Eddies.
They're packing a metal. They're packing a metal with helmetless Mega Man. So I can see Eddie be packing an accessory to one the one of the Mega Mans. Honestly,
I think Mega Man X will happen after they do more classic Mega Man for a bit. Just like we're not going to get any other Street Fighters until they're done with 2.
It's kind of weird. As someone who loves X series, I kind of don't want that to happen honestly because we have a lot of X merch already.
There's a ton of X. I like Base. Base is cool.
I want Base so much.
Base would be great.
But like we have so much X.
We have so much X that it's like it's nice that we're getting classic. Yeah.
Maybe like
I would like to get some X stuff eventually, but I don't need it immediately.
Yeah, I think the only thing I think X would be good at is giving us Mavericks. That's the only problem with the Kobe Key line. We only got the main character. We only got like the main characters. We haven't got any Mavericks at all yet. So that's
the problem exactly. That is exactly the problem. they always will only make like Sigma
Vile. They only do like
was it
Sigma
Vile?
Vile, and that's
Yeah,
it.
and they
they're
leave
done.
out all the other ones, like the Falcon guy,
Yeah.
Spark Mandrill, all the ones that I remember from the video game that I have, where like the guy had that big ass sword
Yeah.
for some freaking reason.
They have a lot of options, and I know they said that the Mega Man line, I think, was outselling the Street Fighter line. So
Surprised because like
it's doing well.
I'm really surprised honestly, because it's cheaper, or because Mega Man is a little more like casual friendly than Street
I think
Fighter.
maybe a
on
little
the
bit
curve.
because it's cheaper, and I think also because they're like you guys have been saying, we've never gotten like figures
Yeah,
of these,
we
and
don't
so
have-
I think with
we don't
Street
have
Fighter,
product.
like everybody in 2, like I think everybody in 2 got made before, right?
We've had what was
there's
it?
people like
We've had
DJ who
Figure-
rarely get made, but I think we've gotten a DJ and like
What is it?
Soda.
We've
Yeah.
had Figure Art, Storm Collectibles.
Soda.
Am I missing
Well,
anyone?
Soda,
else?
NECA, like a bunch of bunch of now Storm Arena and
Yeah.
such.
So I think like
I-
I think they said Mega Man was selling better than Street Fighter, but the Street Fighter's selling really well. Like they're in the long haul for these. Just takes a while.
I think the issue is that we have Street Fighter oversaturation at times,
Yeah.
even though these figures are really good.
It's
And that's
true
what I'm
because
really
like we have like Figure Arts, Revoltech, Jada, and Storm all doing Street Fighter at the same time. Whereas with Mega Man, we only have just
Interesting.
Jada.
just Jada
Interesting
and Kobakia.
story.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting Kamehameha story I want to bring up just
Okay.
ever so slightly regarding Mega Man. Because Jerry was there and he knows what I'm about to talk about.
Is it Angie Corlett?
Okay.
Yes, we went to Ian James Corlett and we told him about how me and Jerry were kids growing up, and we didn't even know the toy line existed because it was so low printed, and then whatever overstock it was went to random KB toys, except mine or Jerry's, that we didn't even know it existed. Because Darkon had gotten some of them as a kid at his KB, then got the rest all on eBay during the early days, because his dad was already well versed in eBay buying. He ended up getting like most of the toy line. And so like I was telling Ian James Corlett about, because he was talking about the Jada toys going, yeah, they're great, but he goes, when am I going to get made? And I said, supposedly they said they have the rights to do it if this sells well. So now this proves that we might get the Ruby Spears stuff, because Ian even joked with me. He goes, you know the joke I make sound out where I said, he's called Mega Man, but they draw him as like an 8-year-old boy. And even he agreed. He goes, yeah, at least mine looks sort of mannish because he's like drawn as a
Mega
teenage.
Man.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
Mega
he looks like a
Man.
Yeah, so yeah, no, Ian James Corlett is like, where's the products for my stuff that's not just Discotek or ADV home video releases? He's like, I want to see more Ruby Spears like merchandise, because he goes, those toys are so rare. When anyone ever brings them to me to autograph, I'm always so delighted because I rarely actually saw them myself.
That's great.
So yeah, no, I thought to just bring that up since you said Mega Man's outselling, and I'm just like, the dream's alive.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
And he also loves the fact that Japan really wants a return of the. They're like, we want.
I love
more.
because ever since like they added Ruby Super Mega to Amazon Japan, the whole Japanese fan has been eating it up ever since this game.
Ian was like, he's heard that too, yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Hey, Jerry, tell them what was the first thing he said when we brought up Mega Man. We're like, oh, we love you. Yeah. No, the other line.
Oh,
What did you say? When we love you, love Mega Man the most, or whatever. What was the one that he said? You know the line, Jerry. You love it. It's your favorite meme. One of your favorite memes. You know, the statue.
I'll save you, Lincoln. Yeah.
He's gonna shoot President Lincoln.
Yeah, that was like the first line he said. That was like the first line he went and said when we mentioned that. Like we're like, we love Cheetor, we love this character, but Mega Man was like our actual probable first introduction to you.
You know what's funny about Jada?
Kama Jojo's campaigning for bad box art Mega Man, and I'm right there with you because I would totally buy that.
Yes. He was in Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
He was
in Street Fighter Cross
it'd be the
Tekken.
only merchandise we'd ever. I still want like a Mokujin Pac-Man, but like that would be the only merch that would ever exist for that game. So
yeah. You know what's funny about Jada is I find that now other companies are now doing Lucy for Cyberpunk, and like they're like 10 times expensive more than the Jada one, and the Jada one still looks good.
It still looks the best, honestly. I don't think that 1.6 that got revealed looks that good.
The Buzz, the Buzz.
The Buzz mod,
the
Buzz mod.
one.
Lucy doesn't look good. That's why it's not in the news. Juggernaut. I found the comparison picture between the new Juggernaut and the old Juggernaut. He's a big Juggernaut, bitch. Like,
So
holy cow.
is this what? Is this what? 12 inch? Is this like 10 or 12 inches of Juggernaut here? God, he's so much wider. My God.
This would be like 14 inches of Juggernaut. I think. No, 14? No, that's a little over. Hold on. 6, 7, 8, 9. So the original one's about 9. So yeah, it's probably a 10 inches of Juggernaut.
He's a
Hey,
Juggernaut.
Soundout.
Yeah.
I think there's a ranked Robot Masters thing on that rank site.
Uh,
I want to do
Oh,
a
you mean
ranked
tier
with
list?
my
Oh,
Robot Master.
Tier make that. There's a bunch of Robo
Yeah.
Master tier.
We could
tier
totally
list
do that
makers.
sometime.
Good. Well, no, because I was gonna go make my own right now. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna make my own.
I mean,
You can,
Go
just
for
type,
it.
you can just easy type in Mega Man Robo Master tier list and you easily can find a
I'm,
template.
yeah, I'm gonna check it.
All right.
Yeah.
McFarlane Toys is releasing the Elite Edition Persona 3 Reload protagonist figure. Which, boy, that looked like a Figma the first time I saw this.
Yeah, so like it's so interesting because they announced they had the license for Persona 3 Reload like a year ago at this
Yep.
point, and it was in radio silence since. And like I wonder if something happened because I feel like it was gonna be like a full like a full line like like your Bleach or other game lines, but I guess because I think something must have happened where now it's being turned into because I think the McFarlane Elite line is not like a series of like we're getting a whole Persona 3 line. No, it's just because they have
Yeah.
a Fallout figure, there's a Diablo figure, a Fallout figure.
They're all
the
video
Doom, the
games,
new
though.
Doom. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just
think
noticed he
it's gonna
comes with
be-
the Superman flight stand from the DC line.
Yeah, that's just the flight stand from McFarlane. So this is just. I think we're just sadly, I think we're just only gonna get Makoto here. But honestly, like this is probably the best looking anime figure like McFarlane's done. I think
I
that,
like the multiple
Bleach one-
faceplates. That's definitely a good thing to have.
Yeah, he comes with a lot of, like all necessary such as sword, multiple hands, his revoker, multiple faceplates and
Mhm.
such. He is gonna be I think $50 though, so like there goes the affordable idea.
Yeah.
Affordable.
I like the tarot card he comes with.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like he comes with.
And
that,
every time I see the
such.
figure, I'm just like, and I will burn my dread. I never played
Yeah,
Persona 3,
I wanna
I
burn
just
some
love that
bread.
song.
No, it's a good job.
I gotta
Yeah,
burn
so-
the bread.
burn the bread.
Burn
Yeah,
my bread.
but yeah, I'm impressed.
That's me and
it
Jerry
makes it-
meeting up and having food, right? We're gonna burn the bread.
Exactly.
Burn our bread. Yeah, looks
Did you
good
play
though.
Reload? Did you play Fez? Any of them?
I played dancing.
Oh, well,
That counts.
That's one.
That counts.
yeah, that's one.
It is a game with Persona 3 in the title. I completed all the songs on that, so.
I have it.
Yeah.
And 5 dancing. I actually bought because Persona out of 3, 4, and 5, 3 is my favorite OST.
I don't like
I've
Persona
heard-
4 dancing. I don't like the way that game's structured.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the first one?
Like yeah, because it has
so-
the actual story. They
Yeah.
have the
That,
actual story.
I
that was
just-
the first one.
I
too.
want to
That
play
one-
tracks and go one at a time. Thank you very much. I don't want to play a story to get to the tracks. I know it sounds like a weird
like,
complaint, but yeah.
Me like, more Persona 4 content. Give me hum.
Yeah.
I like love these characters so much.
For me, I'm like, I would like to play 3 and 4 sometime, but I just don't have the time for it.
Wait,
It took me like
Jerry,
what,
what's
2
the-
years
what's
to
the-
finish 5.
What was
it's kind of
Jerry,
funny
what was
how
the
yeah.
Persona game that I like started predicting shit like that time you showed me Fantastic Children and you were like, wow, Wheels, you've never played this game.
I
Yeah,
remember it might have been 4. Man, he looks good.
he does.
Oh yeah,
It's funny.
first,
I don't play RPGs much, and yet here I beat 3, 4, and 5 over and over and over again.
Here's
Wait,
the
same.
question
Which
though:
one's Teddy
can
4,
can
right?
he pose and dance poses though?
probably his articulation range looks pretty
I mean,
decent.
yeah.
I
It's
mean,
already
he's
kind of
very
a dance.
I mean,
poser.
he looks like he has an actual decent ab crunch for once.
That's true. Maybe I do need to get it as just like my Persona 3 dancing rep, and I just ditch the
I
just
mean-
ditch
So
the
you buy
weapons
ab
and just
crunch.
start having him dance instead.
I mean, I doubt they're gonna make any more characters. Sadly, and much. Sadly, so like, might as well. He's not
True.
gonna scale anybody.
That's also true. Yeah. I nearly bought the
Hey
Figma
guys, who
one.
wants to loan me $77?
Why do you need $77?
Okay, $78.
Okay, you're still spending less than Mr. Beast on his stupid thumbnails, so let's, what do you need it for?
I don't know why, but I'm really liking that YOLO Park dropped their price on the Transformers last night Optimus Prime model, and I'm like, I want that weird metal build figure
Do it.
model kit.
I don't have money for you, but do it. All right, let's get to the big news of the toys. SH Figuarts Gamerverse legally distinct Marvel vs. Capcom Bingus art style Cyclops.
my god, look at him. Like God, this
What?
was just
I broke sound out as soon as
Yes.
it dropped. It like dropped. I sent it to him, and
this was
found
the
out
most
mom
out
thought a
of
terrorist
nowhere
attack happened or
announcement
something.
ever.
It was the most random. Like there was zero hint, zero tease, zero lead up. They just dropped it in the middle of the night, out of nowhere, and then here it is.
So, because
I don't even know how.
So, like, cause here's the thing, like, this means, because some of you were like, "Wow, it's kind of weird to see like big Bandai and Hasbro the same." This has happened before, not specifically like Hasbro and Bandai, but like, because I'm assuming this means that this not MVC is a Marvel marketing thing because
Yeah.
they have done this multiple times with their. Where it feels like it's a Hasbro only thing, but no, it's multiple like what like Marvel Mech Strike, the Venomverse, the Marvel Spider-Man
It's great.
Marvel.
It kind of it reminds me that there was like Marvel variant covers last year for MVC art that was on like variant
Yeah,
covers from out the
well,
collection.
that was sort of because they done this for like Spider-Man Max and Venom, even though like that was that was tying in with the season 3 of the Marvel Spider-Man series, but that
Yeah.
also was just a toy just a marketing campaign
So when's
for
the Funko
Marvel, I
Pops?
guess. Yeah, because well, yeah, because because since now we're getting banned and doing this, I'm assuming this is just like I don't know, our Marvel's like we want to do NBC like tribute like merchandise now.
I think they saw
and
the
such.
demand, and then the collection sold insanely well, and they just like stamped it. And they're like approved.
And even kind of like Capcom, we can't get Capcom approval, but we own these characters, so
Yep.
we can't get in trouble with these.
This
But
one's the craziest one yet because it's literally the Bengis art style.
he looks like a Kinnikuman Man character. He's so buff. I love it.
I love that he can do the X pose. None of my other Cyclopses can do that.
Like this is like the best looking like Jim Lee Cyclops I've seen, and because it's also because ironic enough because figure art never does.
AR got my Knuckles joke. I'm happy. All right. Sorry.
Because I imagine the licensing thing where figure arts cannot do comic designs and such of that. Like maybe because Mayflex has like we had the master license to do comic import figures and such of that. But this is the Katsuo loophole because it's not a comic design.
Double loophole.
It's a game. Yeah, it's a double loophole.
Yeah. Crossy said, "Look, if figure arts does more of these Bengis style Marvel figures, I don't need to buy a Marvel Legends from MVC shelf." That's true. Because also these will scale with like figure arts, like Street Fighters.
It's a bit small.
He's a little smaller,
This is a bit smaller, yeah. Apparently, because he's like more like in scale with the anime figure arts, which I'm actually not surprised because you're gonna scale weight and it's gonna be more of the
it's Japanese dub of X-Men the Animated Series anime opening Cyclops.
Oh, they cry for the moon.
I forgot what studio animated that opening, but yes,
By the way, also it's funny because I'm pretty sure it's still the Marvel team working on this because the Marvel figure art team love to do these like dong style underwear pieces because
the sliding crotch covers.
Yeah, you look at the back shot. He's doing the Ned Flanders there.
Yep.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
I think my favorite part is the fact that we're so like on this legally distinct thing that the Marvel Legends boxes are literally using like the MVC2 training stage, and then this one even has Cyclops optic blast with an effect sheet. With like it looks like straight from the game, and it's like how are we?
Yeah, I do find because he looks like he got teleported to the Street Fighter training stage dimension. Here.
Yeah, but it's really funny because it's just like the fact we have like what is ostensibly a screenshot from the game included as an accessory. Is nuts.
Because of the screen. He calls it the screen face, the redirect one, the Bingus art.
Yeah,
Bingus art.
I love that he can do the X pose because that's something we haven't gotten before. This looks fantastic.
Like I want to see how Figueres does the more comic designs, but they couldn't before because rights. But like seeing this, like the possibilities are endless. Honestly, like I'm curious because I wonder.
Also, for everyone wondering on release details, general store release 9,900 yen. November release in Japan. Will be going up for pre-order in Japan, Asia, the U.S. Luckily, Latin America, because if they didn't, they'd be nuts. But sorry, European fans, you're out of luck on direct import.
I think, he's December for US, which is nice. Is getting US. I mean, most of the Marvel stuff get US release, but it's just kind of like
this in particular. They, I think they know the legacy of these games.
Do you want to mention
Japan.
You want to mention the accessories? Because he got a lot.
Yeah, because we've gone through the pictures. I've shown him enough times. He's got four extra sets of hands, 2 faces, a replacement eye blast, eye mask, one with the optic blast, one with a super optic blast, and then one's got the little like floaty energy thing, and then 2 types of replacement neck parts, which I'm not 100% sure on, and then background paper.
Yeah, because apparently one of them is supposed to help him do the optic blast.
Yeah, I
Pose
think
better
one
and
neck
such.
probably poses up better, and one neck poses forward better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish I had a better neck.
I wish I could replace parts of my back has been messed up lately. I have a shoulder
I
that's
had
out of
better
whack
legs.
lately. I'm getting old, guys. I turned 30 in like just
I'll-
over a month.
I'll keep my
Alright.
bad shoulder, but I really just need a new pair of legs and neck.
Yeah. Robot said, "Would you choose Cyclops or Ochako for if you have $100?" I think Cyclops is a little bit better of a value personally, but that's just because I'm.
Oh,
I'm
wait.
not-
Even as a My Hero,
Cyclops is good.
as a My Hero fan, I feel like this one has a bit more value than Ochako, because I think Ochako Century is still good, but this one comes with big effect pieces,
Yeah,
whereas Ochako is more smaller ones.
and he
such.
has multiple heads. Yeah, because he's got like a
Every
normal
time you see
optic
Cyclops,
blast.
you gotta say, "Behold."
Yes, behold, optic
Oh
blast.
yeah.
But yeah, he's got the small blast effect, and then he's also got the big blast
Oh, the
effect.
expos that they all did. I never noticed as a kid for some reason.
Yeah, I didn't notice
Before
that
they did their
until like
supers, they all made it X.
very recently.
yeah.
I think it was last year.
Gene Splice.
So here's the thing I'm wondering: do you think they're gonna? Since they choose Cyclops, like a Cyclops, do you think they're gonna do characters that Hasbro did not touch, for example?
I have a
So
Probably.
feeling that's what's going to happen. I have
Like
'cause-
to fill it out, right?
yeah.
You think that's like the license agreement or whatever? You think
I
happened
would
here?
if I were to take a guess based on how Marvel products usually work, I would say that we're in for something like that. Some kind of like they're not exactly the same line, but we're not going to see Wolverine next, for example. Like maybe
Yeah.
we're not going to see Psylocke, but we'll see
Rogue. Oh God,
Storm,
Bingus Rogue, Rogue and Storm.
Gambit.
Oh God, imagine.
I have a feeling that is
Oh
likely.
man.
That they're gonna I think they know what Hasbro's plans are. I think Hasbro knows what their plans are, and I think they just wanted to swerve in different directions.
Oh God, Big Yards Bingus Spider-Man. Oh boy, that's gonna be a discussion.
Yes, but I think that's the possibilities.
I love that
Oh,
creepy little bastard.
Oh, Bingus Doctor Doom, Figure Arts Doom.
That could be fun too. There's plenty of options. I think it's going to be very interesting to see where it's going to go. Yeah, I do think though that like Figure Arts will swerve away from the bigger characters. I think they're going to keep those to Marvel Legends.
Yeah, I am really curious who you're gonna pick. Pick and such. It's funny. Now we're doing it's the classic. It is like a fighting game. We're waiting for what's gonna be the next announcement.
Yeah, both directions. I gotta tell you though, it's really funny how my MVC update video that's gonna come out later this year. I was gonna do it 1 year after the previous one. That MVC update video, I thought I was just gonna have to add those Marvel Legends packs and call it a day, but now I gotta add Storm Arena, Figure Arts now. Like it's gonna get we still got several months before that video is gonna happen, and who knows what'll happen now.
You need what you need to do with that video. You have the 2 figures, right? You need to do you need to recreate. You need to have Figure Arts Cyclops and Storm Arena Ryu do the handshake.
Yes, absolutely. I'll probably, I'll roll the dice on shipping. I'll probably import Cyclops instead of waiting for the US release, just so I can have it for video stuff.
I mean, the X-Men. It's
X-Men.
It's X.
Uteki says, "Are you okay with that price?" I, as an X-Men fan, am very used to being exploited by companies for my love of the characters. So
I mean,
yes.
90
How much was the price again?
He's 9,900 yen.
That's gonna be what, 90 or 100?
They're probably gonna price it at
Well,
100 based on how the others went.
Currently, the USD says it's about $68. So
Right, but the US price is probably
going
going to be 100 because that's what happened with all the other 9,900 yen Figure Arts.
Yeah, because the problem is one, like you said, the conversion rate last week. The other part too is realistically, if the currency was even already, that's how much it would be. Because I don't get how people don't understand. To this day, I get like the conversion changing how much it would be, but like the fact that people can't understand like 100 yen equals $1 really confuses me still.
Yeah, that's just because that's the way Bandai prices it, because they have to spend extra money shipping it. They have to spend extra money, they lose money in the conversion, right? So they have to make up for that. That's just it's business. But that's
I'm just saying.
how,
I'm just saying, like, if the conversion was equal, I still don't
Yeah.
understand how people never have understood that.
it's
that.
just how it is. But I will say I will definitely be getting Cyclops, and I'll probably import them because just get them
I
sooner.
would say out of all the 100, I think he's definitely more justified. Probably soon, not the best price, but like
It could
he
be.
comes
It
with
could
a-
stand to be a little lower for sure, but compared to human form Kafka, much
Yeah.
better value.
And also,
Kafka doesn't even have
some
an app crunch.
even like Mayfex, the Mayfex stuff. I think he comes with maybe a little bit more than some Mayfex stuff. Or
And a lot of Mayfex
maybe
now are
it's-
like 12,000 yen. So
yeah, and like probably a better articulation range than some Mayfex also. I imagine.
I'm trying to figure out how much Mayfex Cyclops cost. I'm trying to see if Ami sells a page for him. Yeah, no, because it's like it's one of those things where it's like, do I love the price? No. Am I willing to pay the price? Yeah.
I think it's like what we just look at these pictures. I feel like I can definitely justify it
Yeah.
a little bit more and such.
I overpay for X-Men comics every month, so it's not like I'm not used to it. Okay, yeah, last time they released Cyclops, which was 2020, Malfex Cyclops in 2020 was 8,580 yen. And we had like how many global recessions since then? Yeah, so I think we're doing okay.
Also, like, I just want to see Mayfix Cyclops. Yeah, no, I think I like the I think I like the proportions on the figure a bit more.
The Mayfex is definitely more Jim Lee proportions.
Yeah, because like he has a very big buff upper body, but his legs are skinny. Like,
Jim Lee in the 90s.
Also, like I think the hair looks the hair looks a bit better on the Bingus style one.
Yeah, I like the Bingus one more.
So the only thing we have to ask now is Storm Arena. Can you like Storm or Jada? Can you bug Capcom to do the other characters in MVC?
We need Captain Commando.
We need Captain Commando,
mean,
Rio from Cybots,
Soundout.
Ruby Heart.
Yep.
Amingo.
Tell Ryan the joke I said to what's his face on Twitter, the Marvel guy, and I said, "Hey, could you actually make some Capcom figures to go with these Marvel figures?"
Yeah, which it's just never gonna happen because Capcom doesn't want to.
Oh, I know, but it was like I just made that joke to what was it, Dan? You just as a joke.
Yeah, no, because I think Storm Arena they've already knocked out Ken and Ryu for us, so and they're doing Darkstalkers and Morrigan's coming up next, so.
And they're doing King of Fighters for that lineup. So get some SNK. You got some SNK cross Capcom there.
But what about the Midnight Bliss multi-pack? Anyway,
you're saying I can get my Shiranui and Psylocke in the same room together? Awesome.
Yeah.
The Midnight Bliss pack, my god.
Common JoJo says, is Jim Lee the only Cyclops shows there? No, what's his name? Humberto Ramos' redesign for the From the Ashes era, which is basically just the Jim Lee design updated. That one's got hair shown.
You say Jim Lee, I think X-Men Evolution, honestly.
Oh, X-Men Evolution. It's also like, it's Jim Lee. The X-Men Evolution one's also Jim Lee inspired.
Yeah.
So. I think anything that's Jim Lee inspired has the hair, but yeah, a lot of them they have the skull cap, which I'm here or there on it.
I want more Scott with the trench coat like Wolverine X-Men.
I like the bomber jacket more than the trench coat though, because I like the trench coat, but I like the waist.
I mean,
type.
Ryan's cooking.
Didn't the anime give him a trench
cooking.
coat?
Me and Jerry would agree.
Didn't the anime give him a trench coat, or was it just a like normal size jacket?
No, yeah, the anime gave him the trench coat too. Because they were doing Astonishing X-Men stuff, so they both were doing Astonishing X-Men era. He had his Depression trench coat on. Safety.
I got Depression.
We all have Depression.
So again, once they announce a Storm, would that be instant pre-order button? Like if they announce a Storm.
I mean, I own the only Mafex X-Men I own is Storm, so it's just like.
I almost bought that Psylocke and Storm.
I'm honestly surprised you don't have a Wolverine. Honestly.
I wanted to get the brown suit, but then he was like limited or something, and I couldn't get him. I think he was an exclusive. So screw it up.
An exclusive.
You know what? Also, like with Storm, is like that's what's going to end up getting me to buy one of those Mondo 1/6 figures.
Yeah.
Because I bet they're going to do Storm, and they're going to do like her first look from X-Men '97, and then she'll have an extra head that looks like the '90s with the X-Men '92 hair. and then they're going to go back and do like the black costume one later as like a con exclusive that I'll have to fight people for.
Physically.
See it, because I was gonna get I almost got their Wolverine in the brown suit, but then he was a con exclusive. I was like, never mind. He's like $400. I was like, no. And I almost got their
But
Nightcrawler, but then the shipping, I was like, no. But Storm,
But you'll fight for Storm.
I'll fight for Storm. Common Jojo says, what about Radiant Black figures? I still want Radiant Black figures. They're so toyetic.
Honestly, I'm surprised. I'm surprised McFarlane hasn't done any more image image
think he
figures.
would.
Honestly,
Maybe once he loses
think
DC,
Once
he'll have
Super
like
Robot Monkey
he'll
Team
want to do it.
Hyperforce
I don't know.
go.
honestly, yeah, I can see that. Honestly,
I could see
I
Todd
get-
fill in the void of DC with like
just image figures.
image figures. Yeah.
You know what? I got an idea for Todd. He's got sort of a cool friendship with WB still. He should ask them for Jackie Chan Adventures action figures. Just saying.
That'd be
I
wild.
love that.
Commander
I
64
just
says,
wanna
which
send
Spider-Man series is
send
better,
it.
Unlimited or the 2003 MTV series? The MTV series.
Yeah, no,
I
MTV.
didn't think about that one.
It's Michael Clark Duncan. One has Michael Clark Duncan. Need I say more?
That's yep.
Exactly. Common Jojo, honest question: will Lightning Collection ever come back? I don't
No.
even think it's a conversation anyone is having at Hasbro until after whatever new media for Power Rangers happens.
I think what will happen is we will have a new line that replaces Lightning Collection, but it'll be just Lightning Collection. It'll be just Lightning Collection in like style, but like
Yeah,
it'll be a
I don't
new
think it's gonna be
name.
the same name, but yeah, I think it's they will do an attempt at a collector's 6-inch line when there is new media to tie it into.
It's always surprising that the DC multiverse may stick when the transition from Mattel to McFarlane, unless that's like a DC.
It's
like a
ruined
Marvel
Google
DC.
searches though, that's for sure. I was trying to I was doing like earlier today I got my short edited for tomorrow, and I was like, I got like an hour, what should I work on? And I started like I've been updating my Google Sheets that you can find in our Discord server in the guides and checklists section. And I was working on the DC Classics one because I was like, oh, let me like put in images, right? For like, because I was like, that would be kind of fun. And so the thing was, is I was looking for the canceled figures. I wanted to put the images in for the canceled figures. And I had trouble because when I was looking for the canceled DC Multiverse Hawk Girl, I kept getting images of the
New one.
When I was looking for the Flashpoint Aquaman, I was getting the new one. When I was looking for Simon Baz, I was getting the new one. Like it was making it so hard to find exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of nice that McFarlane's doing all the cancel ones. All the cancel ones, then.
Yeah, you know it's funny. Looking back at it, I got it on the screen share. Here's the canceled Mattel DC figures page on this sheet. Let me actually zoom in. How do I zoom in? There we go. So like they had like some early cancellation, like a Red Tornado variant, and they had some bigger ones like Flashpoint Plastic Man. They had a Batman Beyond that they canceled. The interesting one was this Black Canary. This Black Canary is so perfect that it's not only
Where is it?
it's you have to see it on the stream. It's not only like such a great
Give me a
sculpt,
second.
but she came with like a screaming head and everything, and they canceled her. And the thing that I found wild is that
don't change that dial.
in what is it? It's been how many years since Todd got the license? Okay, that's
5 years, right?
5
Since
years
2020.
since 2020. In 5 years, we did not get a Black Canary figure.
Can you zoom in on the Black Canary?
No, that's as big as it gets.
I mean,
Oh my
we
God.
barely got a bunch of the Green Arrow cats.
Oh yeah, that's like
Barely
what,
just
early
got Hawk Girl.
2000s or 2010s.
Yeah.
Black Canary.
It's the Rebirth
Forget.
era one, yeah. This figure looks amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, but it's crazy because we did get Hawk Girl. We didn't get Mammoth, but like we weren't ever gonna get Mammoth. You know.
I sure, because Todd likes picking.
That's true. Why didn't Todd make Mammoth?
I like didn't use the Beast Boy mode. Honestly,
Yeah, that actually would have
like,
worked. We got Flashpoint Aquaman. We got Simon Baz. We didn't get Demon King Joker from Batman Ninja, but we kind of missed the window on that.
I'm surprised that we didn't get any, maybe because of time, but we didn't get any Batman vs. Yakuza League stuff.
There's a new Spin Master. There's a new Spin Master Batman Ninja Force line that has designs that are vaguely Batman Ninja inspired.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Robin's got a top knot. I'm like, okay, cool. We did get the Nightfall Catwoman, the Balent purple suit costume, and we did get Impulse. We didn't get this armored Wonder Woman from Wonder Woman. What it was? That was the very end of the New 52, right before Rebirth. She had like this full armor look. And then there was a Riddler, classic Riddler, which we kind of got that in McFarlane. There was some other. What was it? The hot. Yeah, we didn't get this hot girl, but we did get a hot girl. We didn't get a new Guardian, but this
And I
Guardian was
mean,
the Young Justice one.
Now I hear it. Now I hear it when people say it before the fact that you said hot girl.
Yep, now you hear it, right?
Yeah, I heard it too.
Yep.
I hear it now.
God, it's like, oh my god, I did the short for Hinata, and I was concentrating the entire time every time I said her name. Like, don't say Hinata. Don't say Hinata. Say Hinata. And I did it. I did it wrong.
Your Hispanic side's coming out.
I know. The Mexican blood activates and wants to hit up Pinata. Anyways.
They were gonna do more. I thought the Young Justice line did badly. That's why they.
It did. They had shown Guardian, and he got canceled. They had this 2-pack of Miss Martian and Superboy, where they were doing it as a I don't want to say crowdfund, but that's the easiest way to say it. They're doing it as a crowdfund. Like, if we get this many orders, we'll make it.
Mattel
Oh, not this again.
It was the Maddie Collector thermometer thing, and it didn't make it.
Right.
Okay,
right before
so
Mattel
Soundout.
Creations.
Yeah.
Soundout. I read it as fucking goal not met, not funding goal not met.
That does change context.
My dyslexia.
I was a part of that because it was also for, what was it, Doomsday in the later half. It was those two in Doomsday.
Yep.
You and me were on the. Oh my god! I still hate Maddie Collector because when you finally got me to join is when they were like, "Nope, we're done," and I was like so pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I finally joined the Mattel collecting. I started getting figures left and right that I could get easily still that were at the market. I started getting some, and then they canned it. Things shot up, and so Giganta was somewhat still reasonable, and then it just became not reasonable.
Common Jojo's like, he said the F word in his stream. Yeah, Wheels will do that to me sometimes. Yeah, but no, so, like, the thing is
Penguin.
The Penguin, yeah, that was supposed to be an accessory with the Penguin figure. It was going to be a robot Penguin. And then there was...
I kind of forgot how much
now.
Mattel was actually on board before the line died with some of these character picks and looks and stuff like
that. So I've updated images on this now. So I went back to the DC. This was also really a nightmare for Google searching the DC superheroes line.
Oh yeah, because it's just generic DC superheroes.
And so I had to search like DC superheroes Series 1 Batman. So I've loaded all these in. So I did this page earlier today, it was actually really fun. It's really nostalgic too because I love this line. And going back through its history is kind of fun, and like remembering that we only ever got this one Mr. Freeze that was reusing a mold from the Batman 2003 toy line.
Yeah.
Or like what is it? Robot Brainiac was from DC Superheroes. They re-released like
Bane?
the Supergirl. There was a Bane, yeah. The Bane was also from the Batman 2003 line. This was our only Steel. Was all the way back in 2007-ish. Parasite, exclusive to this line. Cyborg Superman, the regular one, got re-released. They made Tiny Darkseid, and then they made Bigger Darkseid later. They never stopped using that Mongol mold. Bizarro also was from this line. There was the only time they made Cassandra Cain Batgirl. She was super short packed, really expensive. I don't have that figure. It's one of the ones I don't have.
Thank God for the McFarlane figure.
Yeah. There was a Two-Face. The modern Two-Face. The only time they released him was in this line. They later repainted that Two-Face into a Silver Age one. Then, yeah, there was Catwoman in the black suit. Only in this line. They made a purple one later.
What's up with the modern Two-Face always being hard to get? Because that's happening with the digital figure also.
That's true. I don't know what's up with that. Clayface, yeah. Blader's a Clayface of the line he snapped in half. Yeah, that figure was brittle. And he also had rubber parts.
He was a bendy figure, practically, right?
And they re-released him. There was this 2-pack of Superman and Clark Kent, which is like the only time we ever got a Clark Kent. Super hard to get. Batman and Batgirl, and it was like the Bronze Age Barbara Gordon.
Wasn't there like a one of those like kid like Bruce Wayne the Batman toys in the line also?
There was, yeah. I think I scrolled past it.
I miss those toys. So I miss those.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about this line is that it was very obviously aiming at collectors, like because they did a Man Bat in a cool packaging for Comic-Con, but it was also like they still had the kid appeal stuff in it at the same time. But then you get to DC Classics because at the time when they made DC Superheroes, they only had the license for Batman and Superman characters. which is why the line was like that. And then they rebooted it as DC Universe Classics because then they had the access to the entire DC multiverse at that point.
Because what the ladder is like. First it was Batman. They only had the Batman lines, but they did like the one Superman Batman 2
Yeah.
pack for the Batman Sunshine line. Then they did DC, which is just Batman Superman, and then they upgrade to DC the whole universe, right?
Right. Then they upgrade to the whole universe. Also, they couldn't put Batman and Superman characters in the same wave, so you may notice that like Series 1 was Batman, Series 2 was Superman, Series 3 was Batman, Series 4 was Superman, Series 5 was Superman, Series 6 was Superman, and then Series 7 and 8 were Batman. And it was interesting. They came with comics at first, and then they came with these little dioramas in the later waves. There's the Bruce Wayne to Batman figure. But yeah, it's really interesting going back through like the history of like this line from 2006, and then they made hundreds of figures later. So I've been updating it. So if you guys want to go through it yourself, you can do that in our Discord, because I am updating some of these stat images. I updated the Marvel document earlier too. We've not had that many Marvel figures this year. I say not that many. There's been like 82 announced.
Is it smaller or less? Is it lesser or bigger than
we're
last
currently
year?
at less than last year, which is healthy and as good. I don't mind there being less, because when I have to do my job at the end of the year, it makes my life less difficult.
What's Transformers looking like right now?
Transformers is also definitely less than it was.
I think it helps that the whole 3 waves,
Yeah.
only 3 waves a year is helping that.
Yeah, definitely. I got all the images loaded for this year's Marvel Legends of what's gone up for pre-order. So you guys want to know it's not up for pre-order. You got this. So I've been filling the images in on the individual tabs, which has been kind of fun. It's been kind of fun doing this. But it's going to help, especially this visual guide for when I do the rundown at the end of the year. Just be like boom, 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 boom. Because we're at, what is it? We haven't had a wave since the Spider-Man 2 wave, right? And then the next wave, I think, is going to be Fantastic Four, even though it was revealed after the Thunderbolt stuff, because I think Thunderbolt stuff's going to be later in the year.
Will you count that? Is the Thunderbolt stuff a wave? Will you call that a wave?
I'm counting it as a wave just because it's two packs, and they're themed to each other, and they're retail. If they weren't retail, I wouldn't count them as a wave. But I counted the Brave New World figures as a wave, because there were 3 deluxes.
That's a wave. Yeah.
I also still expect there to be a third 2-pack. Where's the Ghost and Bucky 2-pack?
Bucky.
Yeah.
You need our congressman.
Exactly. See you later, Mr. Doogie. And so now we've got, the Gamerverse wave, which I don't have images in for War Machine, Omega Red, and Juggernaut yet because they haven't gone up for order, so I don't have the official boxes. Yeah, same with, like, what is it? Who hasn't gone up for order yet? Mystique on the retro cards. So Mystique's not in here yet.
Yeah, it's kind of, we haven't got her yet. Oh, because I think that's gonna be like a fall, like that's part of the capsule program, right?
Yeah, I think it's in the next Target Geek Out thing. Same with the Velocity Suit Spider-Man, hasn't gone up at Walmart yet. But yeah, so I've got this all up to date. We're at, I think, it says here we have 82 releases this year so far. So
where do you put Dragon Man? Because
he's in the Hasbro Pulse exclusives. Under Hasbro Pulse exclusives, he's a made-to-order Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Same with the Sentinel. So I've been that's how I've just been sorting it. But yeah, the waves. This is like, so for this year, the only waves we had this year, we had Brave New World, which was 3 deluxes, Spider-Man Retro 5, which was full wave. We had the A-level wave, which was just Cap and Spider-Man, the Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave, the mini comic series wave, the Spider-Man 2 wave. And then we got the Fantastic Four wave, Thunderbolts wave, Gamerverse wave. That's like it so far, which is less than usual. If you go back to like, what was it, 2022, I think was the year we peaked. It's like 2022 or 2023, we had like 200 figures. So I'm real glad we're halfway through the year and we're only at 82. And oh wait, 82 includes the 2 roleplay items, so we're actually at 80 figures. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm happy we're slowing down a little bit. That one year where when we had 197 Marvel Legends, that video almost killed me. That was too much.
Was that the Miles thumbnail, right? Was that?
Yeah, I think that was that year. Yeah, where we had 197 releases. God, that was too much. Transformers is lessened, which is good.
I think it didn't help either that we had like what Spider-Verse, Marvel, what the Marvels, Spider-Man, was that Door hosted that year?
Maybe. I mean, there was a lot. Yeah, it was like we had a ton
No,
of movies and
Door,
shows.
no, Door was the first thumbnail I did.
Yeah. Was it Deadpool and Wolverine? No.
Deadpool, no, that was last year.
It was the year before that. So we had Spider-Verse.
Guardian. It was Guardian.
Guardians,
It was
yeah.
Guardians, Spider-Verse, Marvels. Was there a Dirt one? And that was there a Dirt MC movie that year? I forget.
I feel like there was. Let me go look.
Let me just.
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go on the channel. I can just pull it up here.
Was it Doctor Strange? No, Doctor Strange was the year before. What am I blanking?
Marvel Legends Rundown. Hey, this reminded me. I forgot to change the thumbnail in Hinata. Yeah, it was. Let's see. We had the Marvels, Ant-Man, the movie we wish never happened. The movie we wish never happened. Yeah, I got it on. Actually. What? The hell, man.
Door open.
You all right?
You're not allowed to do that, you know. You can't just shriek randomly. Anyways, yeah. See, we had last year was the Marvel vs. Capcom screen, Cable, She-Hulk. Oh wait, She-Hulk was from the previous. No, she was part of this new one. Black Panther, Deadpool, Wolverine, and then the previous one was Miles, Guardians. Wolverine's also there. Yeah, Wolverine. Oh, X-Men '97 was that year. Yeah.
Yeah, the wave at least.
The wave was, yeah.
That.
And then, yeah, we had Miss Marvel, and yeah, and then the year before that was, yeah. So that was the reason that year was intense. It's still funny. The longest rundown is 2018, which had less figures. I just talked way longer. I didn't have the format down back then.
I need to figure out what I want to do with this year's thumbnail. I need to figure out like what's gonna be the gimmick of this year's thumbnail. I'm trying to think.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I was thinking Fantastic Four.
MVC. Again. Fantastic Four, MVC again, and Thunderbolts. We gotta give them some love.
I need to figure out how I want to do that thumbnail. I need to do like. I need to figure out how I want to do that thumbnail in terms of what's gonna be the gimmick for that one. Maybe it's like do I want to do like a wait? Got it. It's gonna be I probably want to do a tribute of the Fantastic Four number 1 cover, but instead of the mole monsters, Gargantos in the middle, and it's gonna be all the various. It's gonna be all the various like the Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four and the MVC stuff there.
Yeah. That would work. I think that would work. That would make a lot of sense. There's a new SMP thing. What? Did someone DM me this and I didn't know?
It's Pegasus from Algae Ranger.
Fork Found in Kitchen?
Yeah. Yep.
Is it like solicited for pre-order, or is it just like a preview?
It's like a preview magazine scan. It looks like it comes with wolves. Looks like it's gonna come with Wolves Are Fire. It looks like from.
That makes a lot of sense for him to include Wolves Are Fire. Oh, I'm seeing it in Discord now. Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll talk about that when they fully reveal it.
When we get fully reveal it. Yep. Anyways, I think I had to head out. Well,
I think we should also stop. I could sit here for another 4 hours, knowing me.
I had to head off now. So
we should call it a stream. You want to make your promotes?
Yeah. Follow me at Dark163 on YouTube and Blue Sky. I do art commissions like the one you see is very channel. You want any? Feel free to follow me on either Blue Sky or you want to commission me. Follow me at Blue Sky, DM me at Blue Sky or Discord through Soundout Discord protocol. Link in the description below.
Yeah.
Have a nice day, everybody.
See you later. All right. Who wants next?
Well, I guess me. I usually stream Tuesdays and Fridays. Fighter Cows, twitch.tv/Fighter Cows. But this Tuesday, I got stuff to do, and it's way too hot. Matter of fact, I'm like, why am I still in this room?
Yeah.
But Fridays, Soundout will join me, hopefully, because we do a fighting game break not necessarily fighting game break, but a break every couple of Fridays from what I usually stream. And this Friday will be Dragon Ball Sparking Zero again for Shallot's debut.
Yep. We're gonna get Shallot.
4 p.m. Eastern.
That sounded awful. Never let me say that again. I'm not allowed to say we're gonna get Shalloted because that sounded awful. What was I thinking? Anyways, Wheels, you want to pimp something? He's deafened. Hero Club has been redesigned. Go check it out. Look, it's all slick and stuff. Look at us. We're Hero Club 2.0. It looks so nice. I love it. So, if you guys go check out the website, hero.club.com, you can do all the cool things like looking at our website. I'm tired enough. I forgot how to plug things. So,
right there at the top, it says interviews.
Yeah, go click interviews. It looks great. And here's the Fighter Cows Twitch page, because I just was zoning out and forgot to actually do that part of my job.
Yeah.
And then here is the Hero Club one. Boy,
Yep.
I'm
Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, we're playing Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And if you follow, you get a notification when we go live. As for me, Star Convoy is getting reviewed on Friday. I have a story to tell as part of that video. It'll be fun.
Star Convoy's M floor.
Star Convoy's. I think it's his whole existence, right? Because he's like only exists in fiction and picture stories inside of a magazine.
There you go.
It's pretty M floor.
And then people drag him in there.
Exactly.
He drags people.
Sit up in my chair to do this outro because I realized I'd slid so far in the chair, just like halfway out of it. Thanks all for tuning in. I think everybody's already left by this point, so I'm just gonna dip. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.